Hello there, you exquisite individuals, you happy-go-lucky scamps of humankind. It is I, Valen Vane, dressed to impress. For today, we are going to be doing a learn. We're going to be doing a singular learn, one singular learn, just for you, doing all of that. And yeah, doing okay, doing all right. Things have gone tumultuously today, so we're doing all right. We're doing okay. Just trying to get everything sorted, get everything going. Cracking on, doing all the bits and pieces, you know. But we're doing all right. How's it going, Calandra? Hello, Onion Pencil, you cheeky devil. How's it going, Dabber Cogsworth? How you doing? How's it going, Eris Ptolemy, you beautiful individual? To Arthur, coming in for the 15 months with the Prime. Thank you very much for using your Bezos books, is what I believe that they call them in this day and age. The Bezos books. That's what the kids call them. Down with the kids and what have you, you know. I shall now inscribe a name on the mirror vein. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you got to roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, I look rough. But god damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, harra, sexy, oh, yes, meow, you know? You cheeky individual, you cheeky devil. Oh, my lordy. I've gone for a dark visage behind me tonight. I'm going for a nice and dark because we're going to be talking about spooky and interesting things. So I thought I'd go all dark and mysterious, you know? You know? How's it going, Zooty Booty? Hello, Sazzle, you cheeky devil. To Arthur, of course. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Thank you very much. Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yes, Church of the Cosmic Skull. That was the intro track today. Was Church of the Cosmic Skull with Cold Sweat. I love Church of the Cosmic Skull because they remind me of the Addams Family, but in like a reverse Addams Family. Everything's super cheery and yet really fucking dark at the same time. Like that song, You Never Wake Up With a Cold Sweat, and it immediately makes me think of that moment where I think it's Addams Family 2. No, in the Addams Family movie where Morticia's talking to a therapist. The therapist is like, is he a deadbeat? Is he a this? Is he that? Does he not do anything? And she's like, not like he used to. And it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful moment. It's a beautiful moment, you know? How's it going, Chunkin? Neviversal, how you doing? How's it going, Fiends to the Fens? How are we on this gusty day? Very gusty today. Very gusty today. I went to the dentist earlier. Poked my teeth. It was perfectly fine. It was annoying because it took me like a 40-minute walk down, 5 minutes in there, 40-minute walk back. It's like, all right, fair enough. See how it goes. Do you know what I mean? Your fence is blown down. Oh no! So hubby will sort it out when the wind dies down. Today, in where I live in the UK, it's been genuinely weird in regards to how intense it's either been blistering sunshine, so unbelievably hot that you're sweating, or really fucking cold and raining, and there's been no in between. It's been fucking disgusting. Horrible day for the weather, you know. How's it going, Depth Fan? Bunbarian, love your name. May I ask one question about your eye show? You may certainly will. You can go forth, indulge yourself. What is it that you would like to ask me? What is it that you would like to ask me, you beautiful bean? Stupedia, how's it going? Valen Hefner. I feel very Valen Hefner today, wearing this wonderful outfit. I do like this outfit. It makes me feel less Hugh Hefner and more like Vincent Price, you know? You getting there, Dabber Cogsworth? I'm glad to hear it. Getting there is still getting there. Do you know what I mean? It might not be there yet. In fact, to be honest, we are a good life. You will never actually get there until very much at the end. Do you know what I mean? Very much at the end. Is the enjoyment of eventually getting there. The journey. I don't give a fuck about the destination. The journey is what is interesting. And it's as interesting as you make it. You know? Hope everyone's doing as well as can be. So do I. DM Berry, how's it going? TwitchCon Europe ticket acquired. Will you be there again as well, Van? I'm hoping to. DM Berry. I'm hoping to. But it just depends on the finances. Because it's real expensive. It's real expensive, unfortunately. Calandra, I see what you did, you cheeky devil. Next time they will talk, we'll go see them. They're the loveliest people. Yeah, definitely, Chunk. I'd be well up for that. Do you know what I mean? There was a truly thick rainbow earlier. It was gorgeous. Oh, I'm gutted I missed that, but I am glad that. Do you know what I mean? What primer do you use? Because I don't get such nice pigmentation. To be fair, Bunbury, and the primer that I use is just moisturizer. It was just moisturizer. Like, I just use like Nivea Men moisturizer, cover my face in it, and then I have. But the thing that I do that gets me the thorough pigmentation of it is actually to put the foundation. Lots of people do their eyes first. Lots of people do their eyes first and then do the rest of the face. I do the face first. So I put all of the liquid foundation, the contouring, the powder foundation. I do all of that first so that I get the blank canvas sort of effect. I don't have to worry about the various colorations of my actual eye skin. I make sure it's like as blank canvas as possible, and then just make sure you use a really pigmented eyeshadow. I'm using... Good God, what am I using? Sugar pill. This is what I use. Sugar pill. Not that you can see it because thingies, but sugar pill is what I use. That was actually a gift from my darling partner when she was just like, I don't use this anymore. Would you like it? And I was like, yes, super pigmented. Let's go. Let's fucking go. So you put foundation on your lids. Fuck's sake, never even considered that. Yep. Foundation. So I use L'Oreal True Match. My shade is 2R2C, the Rose Vanilla. Use the L'Oreal True Match. Cover the entire face with dabbing so you don't get any weird streaky marks. Contour, using whatever contour you need to contour with. And then I've got the same True Match powder to go with it. Powder the entire face down, but make sure I get it all over the eyes. And the downside is that you get it all over your eyelashes. So if you don't use mascara, then you end up with really pale eyelashes and it looks really odd. But when you do it and you do get it right and you get it all over the place and get a really nice layered blank canvas effect, it means that whatever pigmentation you've got on your eyeshadow sticks really nicely and it pops really nicely as well. So yeah, there you go. There you go. It was a nickname. I'm glad to hear it. Well, Bunbarian works very well here, you know. Come in and you are literally talking about the weather as part of me, part of the cause for me to be bedridden. Oh no! I'm alive and breathing and still standing, albeit metaphorically. So long as it is still a metaphorical standing, we will take it. We will take it, Pixie Bomb. I hope the things ease up for you as soon as humanly possible, you know. If I run into you, I'll have to return. I will have a return gift this time. Still remember your awesome business cards for 2022. Well, that would, if I'm gonna go this year, which I'm genuinely hoping to do so, then I'll have to buy new business cards. I'm gonna have to go and order a new selection of business cards, you know. It's Damu. How you doing? How's it going? Hello. That was a very Yorkshire. Hello, how you doing? You alright? Feeling alright? Yeah, hello. How you doing? How's it going? It's Moo. And Unicorn Mom, hello you beautiful bean. How's it going? With a 5-stream streak, look at you coming in here. Getting all up in our business. All naked as well. This is definitely not the weather for nudity. Alright? It's raining. It's all cold and miserable.
What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Stupedia. Thank you very much for the 200 little bits to get the Pinky in the Brain thing. To be honest with you, Stupedia, we actually have an alert that is the Pinky in the Brain. That is literally me as the Brain and Classic Chunk as Pinky. As drawn by Abby Stabby Art. Hello, Abby Stabby. Look at you. Weather's wetter than an otter's pocket today. It certainly is. Certainly is. And that'd be a real damp like, you know? You know, it's a naked Lou. It certainly is. Coming in here, streaking all over the place. Scandalous, I tell you. Scandalous. Don't want to say what you use because it's ridiculous. No such thing as ridiculous. Especially when it comes to makeup, do you know what I mean? One of the few that doesn't mess up my skin. Then that's all that matters, Bunbarian. That is all that matters. If it's something that doesn't mess up your skin. A lot of when it comes down to makeup, my exploration of makeup, all right, literally comes down to the fact it's less about what you use and more about how you use it. All right, I will happily fork out for slightly more expensive foundation because I find that that foundation works best for me. But that's a personal choice. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to eyeshadows, I'll use whatever the fuck happens so long as it gives the effect that I want it to give. It doesn't really matter. I've got some sleek eyeshadow in there, and that shit's been discontinued about 5 years ago. Do you know what I mean? But it still works. It still does what it needs to do, and that makes me happy. That does what I need it to do, you know? But one of the biggest things that I discovered when it came to makeup was, like, having the right brushes. And they don't need to be, like, super expensive brushes. It just needs to be the right style of brush. Obviously, the more expensive, not always, but tends to be a more reliable of brush, you know? But if you got, like, a brush like that, which is very flat on the top, instead of like that, this is what I use for my liquid foundation. Instead of streaking it and painting it on your face, dab it. Get in all of the fucking pores. Just fucking dab away. Dab the shit out of that, you know? That same, actually, to be fair, the same goes for pretty much everything. Dabs. All of the dabs. Get better coverage. Yeah. Oh, and more uniform coverage. For sure. For sure. Deb fan, come here, cheeky devil. Come here, you. What do you like claiming cheeky kisses, you cheeky devil, you? You're cheeky devil. I know, Unicorn Mom streaking in this gusty weather. Scandalous, I tell you. Absolutely scandalous. Why would you do that in this weather? You know, 1 minute it's blustering warm, you're sweating, the next minute it's pissing it down, you're freezing your tits off. You know? How you doing, Jason Andrew? How's it going? 50 streams in a row? Eris Ptolemy? 50 streams you've been nude. 50 streams. You've been streaking all over the place, nude as it comes. How dare you? How very dare you? Good Lord. I tell ya. That is how are you not cold? How are you not freezing? You know? Very powerful nerd. How you doing? How's it going? Good hanging out with all the other day/night. Yeah, it was good. Last night my time zone, we did the movie night, and we ended up sitting and watching Moulin Rouge, and it was great. It's very different watching it versus like when you watched it, or when I watched it when I was a young plucky whippersnapper. I thought it was like, oh my god, this is so romantic. This is, look, love conquers all. Oh my lordy. Also, the soundtrack fucking slaps. And I don't use that phrase very often. It is so good. Such a great soundtrack. And aesthetically, I remembered why I fell in love with it. But with my wizened age, my life experience, my understanding of horrifically toxic behavior, I realized that the story is quite bad. The protagonist, Christian, is horrifically toxic. Horrifically. Like, it was like partway, like maybe the first third of the movie, I would just like literally message everyone. I was like, hey, is it just me or is Christian super creepy? You know? Super creepy. Come what may. Exactly, Stupedia. Thank you very much for the 20 little panderings. I appreciate that. But it was good. We had a good turnout. It was great. The next movie night, I haven't updated the thing yet, but I'll do that in a moment, is the 24th of March. Let me update that now. And then I can't forget it. Movie. Edit. The March movie is Flight of Dragons. It will be displayed on Sunday the 24th of March in the Dick Sword at approximately 7 p.m. Be there or be somewhere else, I suppose. And a massive thank you to Classic Chunk for providing us with Flight of Dragons and the subtitle tracks as well, so that we'll be able to watch it. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the Dapper Cogsworth. I have not seen Flight of Dragons. Flight of Dragons and The Last Unicorn were the two that Chunk managed to give us. And I haven't seen... I don't... If I have seen them, we're talking 30 years ago. We're talking when I was maybe 6 or 7, you know? I hope you love them both as much as I do. Well, I have yet to hear anyone say anything bad about them, which says a lot. Do you know what I mean? Says an awful lot. So our next movie night, every month we do a movie night with the community where we all pile into the cinema in the Discord. It's like the cinema in the Discord, and we sit and we watch a movie together. We have a chat screen so that people aren't going to be interrupted. We all mute up, and you don't have to have a camera, you don't have to have a microphone. You can just come in and chat and have a laugh with us and what have you. And yesterday was really good. Yesterday was really, really good, you know. Christopher Lee is in The Last Unicorn. Oh my god, that's wild. That is wild. Currently enjoying a glorious day off. Had a few not so uber productive days in a row. But yesterday I was on fucking fire. Got about 4 pieces finished. Oh, amazing. Amazing news. Got a gifted abundance of Revolution makeup palettes if you're ever in need of more eyeshadow. To be fair, I've got so much fucking eyeshadow. However, I am aware that a lot of it is going to go out of date very soon. So I'm going to have to do a bit of a makeup haul at some stage this year, you know. At some stage this year, I'm going to have to do a bit of one. You know? Undecent makeup because my bestie saw what I was using and bought me some for Christmas. Love that, sweetie booty. Love that. Oh, my lordy. When your friends know their shit. All right? They're just like, no, you need something better. Come on now. Your suggestion to dab makeup has been a game changer. Yep. Dab. All of the dabs. Even with the powder. Dab, 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 dab. All of the dabs. You know? Millen, hello, you beautiful bean. How's it going? Isn't that why some people use the term beat your face? Probably, to be honest with you, Pixie Bomb. Some people go really ham with it. Just, and I'm just like, fucking hell. Like, how are you not bruising yourself underneath underneath all the makeup, you know? How's it going, Jazzagal? How you doing?
Subscribed. Most kind.
I've not got mascara in my eyeball. Artemis Blackfire coming in for the 28 months with the Prime. Thank you very much for using your cheeky little Prime here. You could use it absolutely anywhere, and you still choose to use it here, you cheeky devil, you. I shall now inscribe your name on the mirror vein.
You subscribed. Most kind.
And Bear as well.
It's the man, the myth, the legend in his own pants. Val and Vane, everyone. Good evening, darling.
Good evening, darling. How's it going, Bear? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. For 31 months, Bear. This is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Thank you very much for coming back and joining us, you cheeky devil. Artemis Blackfire and SI3D Printing, aka Bear. Both of your names have been inscribed upon the mirror vein, which means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devils. For tier 4 subscribers only, as well, you know. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you go roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, I look rough. But goddamn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, sexy. Ooh, yes, meow. You know? You know, you cheeky devil. You cheeky devils. Plural. You know? Val and I have a very important question. How was being a mushroom for a day? Stupidia. There's one way to quickly answer that. Go and check out the VOD. The VOD is available on the VODs and Vanity YouTube channel. I'm getting slowly but surely better at actually, you know, self-promoting and shit. YouTube. Yeah, people go check out the VODs and Vanity YouTube channel. While you're at it, you may as well check out the Thirst and Vanity YouTube channel, which is the other channel that I have that is I'm currently in the process of editing quite a few videos for, which is going to be fun. But if you would like to check out how I was as a mushroom, dressed to impress with uwu makeup, doing all of the mushroom jokes and games and fucking facts and shit, then you're gonna have to check out the VOD. I'm not giving away any secrets here, bastards. You know? I'm always so cold. This is nothing. Rude, Aristotle. Streaking through here. What movie is next? Yeah, so we're gonna try and watch Flight of Dragons. if we are not able to do so, we're going to try and watch the Last Unicorn. So, yeah, those are the ones. Them be the ones, you know? So I'm not sure if it's genius or the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I do love it, though. Oh, the Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge, it is a work of genius. But it does hit different. I mean, what are we? We're 22 years on from when it originally came out. It hits massively different. I'm not going to say that it hasn't aged well, because I think it has. I think it's aged quite well. But I am going to say, with modern perspectives of toxicity, toxic masculinity, and red flag behavior, it definitely hits different now, you know? You know? Last Unicorn so good. First saw it at Chunk's recommendation. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Never heard of that one. To be fair, it's like a really old animated movie, but it is so the people who have seen it sing the praises of it, and I have never seen it, so I'm hoping that it is gonna hit as well. Do you know what I mean? Young Kurt Russell as well. Oh shit! Have you seen Freddy as FRO7? I feel like nobody has seen this movie. No. I've never even heard of that. I've got no idea what you're talking about, I'm afraid, Stupidia. How's it going, Finley? How you doing, you beautiful bean? How's it going, Captain Bambi's Revenge, you glorious individual? Welcome on in. How's it going? Don't know if anyone remembers, but I had a friend with a problematic boyfriend and wasn't sure what had happened to them. As I hadn't spoken to them since lockdown. Finally got a chance to talk to them at a party the other day, and they're doing good now. There were lots of issues with the previous boyfriend, but the current one is lovely. I'm glad to hear that they've managed to sort it out. This is what I will... White Wolf Antics, how you doing, you beautiful bean? Also, White Wolf. White Wolf immediately springs to mind the old Vampire the Masquerade ship. Which was old school, but how you doing? How's it going?
Hand it to it!
Why
all
did
of it.
the Succubus refuse to work with the Celestial? He was a total diva. A member of a class of divine beings in the Vedic period, which in Indian religion are benevolent and in Zoroastrianism are evil. Sending hugs to all who consent.
Ooh, kicking us off with some knowledge there, Jamjar. Thank you very much for the 100 little panderings. We haven't even got onto it yet. I was going to wait for the first ad break, which is normally about an hour's into it. I'll do the what is Valen wearing today, and then we'll jump into it. But you know, fun little play on words. Love a good play on words. He was a diva. A divine. Ha ha. You cheeky devil. God damn it. Doing great. White Wolf is a reference to The Witcher 3. Ah, shit. Of course. Do you know what? I played The Witcher 2 and fucking loved it. Tried to play The Witcher 1, didn't fucking get it. Tried to play The Witcher 3, just could not get into it. Everyone that I know that has played it has absolutely fucking loved it, but I just could not get into it. Just couldn't. Don't know what it was. Maybe it was just too big a game. Maybe I was just in the wrong mindset. But yeah, don't know. Just wasn't a fan. Wasn't a fan, you know. But I'm glad everything sorted itself out, Millen. What I will say about that is that it tends to be the case. It's like one of these, like a situation happened to me recently, which I'm not going to go into too deeply. It was one of those situations where I was like, oh, I was quite worried that people were going to go off and believe this individual. And then I realized that I just didn't care. I got to that point where I was just like, look, if these people go off and believe this individual, if they go off and buy into the toxicity, then that's on them. That's on them. And eventually they will realize and they will make their own decisions. They are completely within their rights to make decisions and make mistakes. And maybe it isn't a mistake. Maybe I'm the mistake in the scenario. But again, it's on them. I'm not taking responsibility for other people's decisions or actions. I do not have the fucking time, you know. And unfortunately, Millen, it happens a lot with relationships as well. It's that whole, you can see problems with somebody's partner, but they don't want to see them. They don't want to see them, and you've got to let that ride out. All you can really do is let that ride out, and then be there for them when it's all over, which is kind of what you were talking about all those months ago, you know. All those months ago. Working on a new project, Bear. Oh, how exciting. How exciting. I have your both of the cigarette holders you made me for my fake cigarettes. Which I thought was... I refound the more phallic one when I was clearing out the... I was clearing my mantelpiece to restructure everything. And I was just like, oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Forgot about this one. Do you know what I mean? He was a fun guy. There wasn't much room for anything else. Oh, my God. Dapper Cogsworth. Really? 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 God damn it. God damn it. Finley, 10 streams in a row. 10 streams in a row you've been streaking through here. Good Lord, put some clothes on. How do you deal with the weather? How do you deal with the weather without clothes? I'm like wrapped up to the nines. I am fucking freezing and then really hot because the UK has been pretty questionable in that regard recently, you know. Moulin Rouge, those are my thoughts on it when I first watched it once it was cable. I haven't watched it recently. I really should. In regards to Moulin Rouge is a aesthetically amazing film. Aesthetically and musically fucking phenomenal. I take so much inspiration, as you can tell. I take so much inspiration from that movie. The story is beautiful if you are happy to fall into the realms of slight disbelief. But as... Like, I watched it again and I was just like, this is hitting different. This is hitting different, you know? Froggy the Frog with Brian Blessed in it. Froggy the Frog. That's a Brian Blessed thing, yeah? Symptom of your age, that's a decade before the last. Does not seem that far back. Exactly. It's all about perspective, right, Neverversal? Right? Right? Freddy as FRO7 is worth watching. Yeah, what's it even about?
Most kind.
Stupedia, thank you very much for giving that sub to Dapper Cogsworth. Also, Shade Secrets, how you doing? How's it going? Welcome on in. Dapper Cogsworth. I shall now inscribe your name on the mirror vein. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you gotta roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, I look rough. But goddamn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, harra, sexy. Ooh, yes, meow. You know? You cheeky devil, you. Google it? No, you tell me. I will not bow down to your demands of me using the Google machine. No, Stupidia. You must regale me with it. Tempt me. Find the words to describe it that make it sound so tantalizing that I simply must watch it, you know? Jade Moon, hello, you beautiful being. How's it going? It's a brilliant... You seen it as well, Dapper Cogsworth? Yeah? It's your favorite game? I cried at the end. I never got to the end. I think I played it for maybe an hour and a half, and then I was just like, I have got no idea what I'm doing. I am confused as to what the fuck is going on. I'm good. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna step out. I'm gonna find something else, you know. And nothing against people that like it, you know. You like it, that's great. I will never criticize people for playing games that they enjoy. Just didn't work for me. Do you know what I mean? Didn't work for me. Haven't seen that movie in years. Oh my God, Zooty Booty, you've seen it as well. Goes through my circle of movies I rewatch. Chunk watched a movie over the weekend. Over the weekend? Last night? Yeah, Chunk watched a movie yesterday that I haven't seen in a while, but that was one of my like cycling movies. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. We watched it on a movie night, if I remember correctly. And yeah, that's an old school fucking... great movie, glorious movie. It's one of those ones that nobody seemed to have fucking heard of. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. But it's made by the same people as made the Time Bandits. But yeah, it was fucking great. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed that movie. Yeah, no. Realized there were issues and they were able to move on to someone better. Exactly. I'm just that hot, Finley. No one's disagreeing. No one's disagreeing. Friends, until the end of February. So the end of this week. There is a merch sale on our merch store, www.valenvane.com. Massive thank you to Finley, Sembar, Aproxcon, and Salvora Hart. I keep forgetting their name. Or their username. I know exactly what... I'm terrible with names. I'm great with faces. Terrible with names. Know exactly what they look like. Can't remember their name for the life of me. Before getting me the valenvane.com URL. And now it is a merchandise store where until the end of February we are doing 14% off everything on the store. Everything on the store. Whatever you want, 14% off. Whatever you want. Whatever you need, whatever you see, you pay the money and make the choice. I don't know what the lyrics are. I'm flagging it. You know what I mean? It's grand. It's grand. Seen it, French frog who's friends with Nessie, starring Brian Blessed. What the actual fuck? What outrageous narcotic dream is this? Which movie were we talking about? Freddy the FR07. Or Freddy in FR07 or something? You want a gift sub for knowing FR07? 49 this year, so I remember when films were good. The films these days can be good. I'm really looking forward to the new Dune movie because I fucking loved the first one. So I remember like I've seen the original Dune movie. I've seen the mini series of Dune and Children of Dune, and I've seen the newest Dune movie. The one that and I'm really, really looking forward to Dune Part 2 coming out because I fucking loved it. I thought it was one of the greatest experiences that I have had, you know. Go and see the new Dune on Saturday afternoon. I really want to... I'm going to go see it with my brother and my dad next Wednesday evening. But I'm hoping that I can convince my friends. I've got a bunch of movie nerd friends to go and see it in one of the IMAXs just because I just yeah, love it so fucking much. Latest Dune was glorious. Oh, fucking so good. So good. Genuinely blown away by it. But I was a massive, massive fan of the old Dune movie, so yeah, it was a hyper-focused for a while, for sure, you know? It's about a French prince that's turned into a frog. It's a frog as a spy who is investigating the disappearing landmarks like Big Ben. What the what? What the fuck are you talking about?
Flowers.
Flowers.
Once upon a time, when all truly great stories begin.
If you've been looking for an enchanting new hero in the world of children's entertainment, look no further. Freddy is here.
Right. Fucking hell.
Freddy the Frog.
I'm not a frog. I'm a prince.
That's funny.
It's the story of a handsome prince with magical powers who falls under an evil spell cast upon him by his wicked aunt.
I shall rule the world.
Is that a wicked aunt? Or is that Jafar's staff from the Disney version of Aladdin? Because she looks a lot like Jafar's staff. You know when he also turns into like the big serpent thing? Yeah, I've got strong Jafar vibes going on right here.
But grows up to become the most famous secret agent in all the world. with heartwarming narration by James...
Wait, hold on. Just, first of all, James L. Jones, fucking brilliant. Right. So, let me get this right. 30 seconds into this, he is a frog, a French prince who's been turned into a frog. He has magical powers and is best friends with, I'm assuming this is Nessie. Somebody said
It's the story of a handsome prince with magical powers
Handsome prince.
who falls under an evil spell cast upon him by his wicked aunt.
I shall rule the world.
Okay.
But grows up to become the most famous secret agent in all the world.
Oh, and now he's...
With heartwarming narration by James Earl
And
Jones.
so began Freddy's greatest adventure to date.
And starring the voice of Academy Award-winning actor Ben Kingsley as Freddy.
I'm not the little frog I was so long ago.
Join Freddy,
Good choice.
Deffers,
Oh, ready. Give me frogs any day.
Scotty,
What are we doing here?
Nessie,
Charmed, I'm sure.
and their loyal friends as they band together to keep the world safe from Messina, El Supremo, and the forces of evil. MCA Universal Home Video presents a story that will delight children of all ages.
Freddy used his magical powers to travel around the world, fighting evil near and far.
So, Frederick, we meet again.
Featuring music from George Benson, Patty Austin, Grace Jones, Asia, and Boy George. Colorful top-quality animation, irresistible characters, and plenty of good-natured fun.
Oh no! You horrible reptile fiend!
Freddy the Frog is a film
yeah,
your
okay.
family will treasure forever. The exciting animated adventures of Freddy the Frog.
Voila.
From MCA Universal Home Video.
What? First of all, with a cast like that, how have I never heard of this? With a cast that, like, level of celebrity, how have I never heard of it? Second of all, what level of fucking unreasonable narcotic dream is that? Well, he's a prince that that is turned into a frog by his evil aunt. He then has magical powers. He becomes best friends with Nessie. Then he grows up. He grows up to continue to be a frog, but like a human-sized frog now. So he looks like an extra from Bucky O'Hare. And now he's actually a secret agent for the British government, fighting against his evil aunt that may or may not be Disney Jafar's staff. And also, there's a man with a sword that has a maniacal laugh that gets caught on clocks all the time. So, it's all good. But don't worry, because the lead female protagonist is still attracted to him, despite his amphibious descent, you know? Because Astrasius, how you doing? How's it going? In fairness, that's still nowhere near the level of writers as being high as Magic Roundabout. Yeah, Magic Roundabout was pretty trippy. Magic Roundabout was pretty trippy. Terry Gilliam did the animations for Monty Python. Baron Munchausen? Yeah. In fact, it's got 2 of the Monty Python lot in Baron Munchausen. Your husband's movie of choice to keep watching is Field of Dreams. Never even heard that one. Just had flashbacks. FR07. It was weird as heck. Well, I mean, it sounds fucking weird. Just go with it. Just go with it, Armors Black. How the fuck do you do that? Bro, now you're off to see it shortly. Amazing. I didn't think it came out till the 1st of March. I thought the second June movie wasn't out till the 1st of March. Junevis is a good film. Books are good, but I prefer the classic June with Patrick Stewart. The classic June was great. But it would just, because of the fact that they made it into like an hour-long movie, they had to cut out massive parts of it. The 3-part mini-series of June was all right. Children of June was decidedly shite. But the way that they're doing this new June movie, like, it just Oh, it's just so good. And like seeing some of the back behind the scenes stuff as well is just fucking sensational. It was a feast for my senses when I saw the first Dune movie in the IMAX. It was an absolute feast for my senses. You know? Some of my friends of mine have seen in the IMAX showing. I really want to see the IMAX showing. This looks ace. What the hell have I come into? That was Freddy as FR07. You know? Is that voiceover James L. Jones? Yeah, 100% was. Dear sweet Jesus, I thought this was a bloody fever dream. It's real. Oh, no, it's real. It's apparently fucking real. It's a trip, but it's real. How's it going, Asari Greenfire? How you doing? Can it be both? I mean, there's nothing stopping it from being both. Apart from good writing. That is like something that my nephew would write. You know? Valen, Uncle Valen. So this is Lego, and he's been turned into a dinosaur, but then he's fighting, but he's actually royalty as well. And then all of the evil people like turn into like flowers, and they are not talking flowers, they're like just normal flowers. And then they try and save the world because there's actually a giant comet coming, and they turn the giant comet into a flower as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll go with it. Yeah. Ruined Dragon, hello, you beautiful bean. Yeah, we'll go with it. The storyline that was just portrayed to us in that that trailer was the level of random that comes with toddlers. It would not surprise me if the writer would turn around to their own toddler and was like, "Hey, do you want to run by me this idea and we'll just go with it?" Yeah. How's it going, little gem? How you doing? How was the chaos the other day? It was chaos. Oh, it was chaos.
Oh, you followed me. Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you very much for the follow, you beautiful bean. I don't like to call people out just in case they are lurking, but you are very, very welcome here all the same. You do not have to come out of lurk. If you would like to continue lurking, you're welcome to. You're welcome to. But thank you very much for the follow. Don't see a problem with that. I mean... yeah, the chaos the other day was chaotic as fuck, little gem. The VOD is available on the VODs and Vanity channel from when I was a fucking mushroom. But yeah, it's all good. Now we're back to I'd like to say normal. It's normal scheduling, but today we're going to be deep diving into the realms of the Succubus myth. The Succubus myth, you know? Seems like they changed writers partway through. It does, doesn't it? Yeah. We meet again. We do indeed, Gruen Dragon. How's it going? How you doing? Death by Muffin. How's it going? Seems like a weird acid trip kind of film. Yep. Yeah. Can see that. Can see that entirely. You know. Really did think that I made it up in my head, but then I did the same with the Dark Cauldron. Dark Cauldron was dark as fuck. The Dark Cauldron was so dark. Rose Croy, how you doing? How's it going? Update, broke my Skyrim 2 and can't fix it. Okay, can you get a new Skyrim game or find one of those people that do the coding and hacking and stuff to be able to fix it for you? Top quality animation. Black Cauldron, that was it, not Dark Cauldron. The Black Cauldron. That was dark as fuck. I do enjoy those like old dark fantasy movies though, you know. You know, Jason Andrew, how's it going? I did say hi to you earlier, but I'll say it again. Queen Car, hello, you beautiful bean. Need to see this? Really? Do we need to see it? Is that a thing? It bombed and went straight to video? That's why? Really? Oh, shit. I mean, I can't say I'm surprised. With that level of fucking random with the storyline. If you had like a normal sort of storyline. But I have seen when I did the search for the thingy that the full movie is on YouTube. The full movie, Freddy is FR07, is on YouTube. Just available freely, you know. Basically the story of your life. White Wolf, my god, you should sue them. You should sue them for plagiarism. Taking your life and making it into a movie. Bastards. Kermit Omegle fanfic. The Kermit Omegles are fucking hilarious. For those people that don't know, it's somebody who has got Kermit the Frog as a puppet and just appears on Omegle and it's like, hey, how you doing? With a perfect Kermit voice as well. Like, hey, how you doing? How's it going? Do you want to see something fun? And then just pulls up a little cucumber. Like a little flashing dick pic from Kermit the Frog, you know? And Mothy J, how you doing? How's it going? Althena, hello, you beautiful bean. Hello. Oh, my lordy. Bumbling Bee, how's it going? Oh, my lordy, all these beautiful people coming in here. In fairness, that is still nowhere near the level of right as being... Oh, yeah, the Magic Roundabout was a thingy. Although saying that, Astrasius, the writing that has been the weirdest for me, in my personal experience, is probably Round the Twist, which was a 1990s Australian TV show. And it was weird. So fucking weird. The Moomins was probably a close second. The Moomins was pretty fucking wild, but yeah. Round the Twist, you know. Why does the song playing now sound like Call of Duty? I've got no idea, J2. Never played Call of Duty. Call of Zombies Duty. That one, you know. She wants a throg in her throat? Oh my god, Depper Cogsworth. Oh my god, come on now. Come on now. Field of Dreams is where if you build it, they will come came from. Oh, really? Oh, so the whole Wayne's World thing was just ripping that off? That's pretty entertaining. Or a parallel, or whatever they call it. What do they call it? Ode to? There's a specific word. But, you know. The Mystery Toll Booth is also really a little weird. Good animation. Never heard of that one either. It's like 2 hours away from the actual Field of Dreams. Oh, really? What is the Field of Dreams? Ligras Kiwi. Hello, you beautiful bean. How's it going? How you doing? Remember watching classic reruns of Thundercats? Yep, 100%. He-Man and She-Ra. He-Man and She-Ra are fascinating to me. Alright? And the reason why is because pretty much every old cartoon started as a cartoon and then became like a toy franchise. Whereas it was the other way around. There is actually, I'm sure it's on Netflix, there's like a documentary around He-Man and She-Ra. Very specifically He-Man, but He-Man... Parody, thank you very much, Paint Lady. A documentary around He-Man, and He-Man started as a toy, and in order to make the toy more popular, they made the comic book and TV series, which is fucking wild to me. You know? The original Dune movie was your introduction to Sir Patrick Stewart? My God. Like many people, I was introduced to him with Star Trek. Out sooner in other countries. First March is UK, if I recall. I think the 2 filmed in limited in cinemas 29th. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, I'm gutted other people get to see it before I do. A friend of mine, fucking Kadea, aka Soap, was there at the red carpet premiere, which I was extremely jealous of. Extremely jealous. Like, there they were, looking cool as fuck. You know. Friend is a huge Dune fan and absolutely loves the new movie. They're so good. They're so fucking good. The full name of that movie, the movie we just watched, J2, the movie we just watched the trailer of, Freddy is FR07. That is there. The Stupedia is literally just typed it there directly underneath here. Excalibur starring Helen Mirren was my first introduction to Patrick Stewart. I feel like when I was a young kid, I was introduced to him because my dad used to watch The Next Generation every so often. Not very often, but just every so often. But I feel like my first proper introduction to him was like a video of him doing Shakespeare at some stage. He was a Shakespearean actor, so I feel like that was probably the first. I remember quite clearly him doing some proper Shakespeare. You want to read a book by a writer off their face? I recommend Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. Somehow Blade Runner was adapted from it. That's amazing. That's actually amazing. I love shit like that. Book's on your nightstand right now and it's wild. Oh my god. I wish I had the fucking capacity to read more stuff. Do you know what I mean? Read more stuff. Also forgot that it was in that. Same would have been mine also showing me. That's alright. Fuck, I'm so far behind. Right, I'm gonna whip down a wee bit, friends. Max Wattage, hello, you cheeky devil. Greetings of red and velvety one. I am feeling very red and velvety. Yes. Field of Dreams was out in 1989. Ray Liotta, James Earl Jones, and Burt Lancaster. Oh shit! Never come across that one either. Don't forget the mushroom fan arts.
Ooh, you little stalker.
I am trying to forget them. You know, it was completed and found thee. Thank you very much for the follow, you beautiful bean. Oh, Raplin. Welcome on in. How's it going? When's the next plane landing on your big ass forehead? I think you'll find that it's not an airstrip. It's a solar panel of love. The more vitamin D that I absorb across my massive forehead, the better I am at the sweet, sweet bumping uglies, the rumpy-pumpy bumping uglies, the horizontal tango, the happy-go-lucky pump-pump times, the in-out hokey-cokey. Can't help it, you know? In fact, I've actually applied and auditioned, if you will, to have the next big IMAX screening of Dune in all of its orgasmic wonder displayed across my forehead. Can't help it, you know? D's in chat. All those sexy D's. Flashing all that D. God damn it. God damn it. So, you know. What can I say? It's my splash zone. It's the best way. Succubus? How could anyone do that to a bus? I mean, right? The power of the lungs? What do you mean? It's a blowjob. You blow it, right? That's the way it works. That's the way it works. How you doing, Quinka? How's it going? Oh my god, right. I'm going to whip right the way down because I'm so fucking far behind in chat. I have no clue what I first saw Patrick Stewart in, but I absolutely adore him. His and Ian McKellen's bromance. Oh, it's so good. So fucking good. Such a great fucking interactive platonic love, you know, that just takes the piss out of all stereotypes of what men should be. And I love that. I love that so much. My brother had, still have it, by the way, something called Cybots Mecha Anime. It was one of the one video that I can't track the rest of the ones down. It's on YouTube. I really struggle with mecha animes. Fuck it, I'm just not a mech person. I'm just not a mech person.
Yeah, you subscribed. You know? Most kind.
Max Wattage, thank you very much for giving a sub to that wonderful being. I haven't seen them in chat yet, so I don't want to call them out. But thank you very much, you beautiful individual. I will inscribe their name upon the mirror of vein. By having their name upon the mirror of veiny means they get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you got to roll over every morning, as they well know. Roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, I look rough. But god damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, sexy. Ooh, yes, me. Yeah, you know? You know? So much D. Transformers mask. Oh my god. Mask. They're the mask crusaders that can save the day. Mask. Our fucking that. Mask and Centurions. Yeah, Centurions. Centurions was a fucking old school one. The other one was the I remember really clearly was Jace and the Wheeled Warriors, where they were just like petrol heads fighting against giant plants. You know. Wise words. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So many 80s cartoons that were just made to sell toys. I was about to say, well, after the success, that was the thing, Astrasius. After the success of He-Man in like the late 60s, early 70s, that whole thing was like, oh shit, we can use cartoons to sell toys. We can use cartoons to capture the imaginations of children and sell toys. We can totally do this. This is great, you know? You know? Crystal Maze, 110%. Fort Boyard, I watched a couple of them and then was just like, this is a ripoff of Crystal Maze. Are you a D person? Yes, occasionally. 70% of you said yes. 30% of you said occasionally. And 0% of you said no. We are all D people here, friends. We are all D people. Thought He-Man was the 80s. He-Man was 80s? Really? I thought He-Man was earlier than that. Biker Mice from Mars was fucking amazing. However, the old cartoon that is credited to have one of the greatest storylines of all of them was Gargoyles. I never end up watching like too many of them, but like I have seen people talk, like do fucking TikToks, do old school like fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Like reviews and shit and articles and blogs about how fucking good the Gargoyles storyline was throughout all of the things. Does anyone also remember SWAT Cats? I remember SWAT Cats quite well, you know. Friends, the time has come to indulge ourselves with a little bit of what is Valen wearing today. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, and all genders outside and in between, it's time for What is Valen Wearing Today? Valen Vane has gone for his Vincent Price look on account of the fact that he is about to educate everyone on the origins of myths and legend, demonic forms, and what better way to do that than to look like you're a 1920s absolute diva of a human being, right? Yes, you cheeky devils. I'm also wearing black trousers and slippers today. Because you can't wear an outfit like this without wearing the cheeky little slippers.
Yeah, you subscribed. You know? Most kind.
Sadiva, how you doing? Let's celebrate. This distinguished outfit. Distinguished indeed. How you doing coming in with that 12 months with a Prime? Happy anniversary, you cheeky devil. Let me put some music on before I completely lose what I'm all about. Yeah, now. Oh, cheeky. I shall now inscribe your name upon the mirror vein. By having your name upon the mirror vein means you get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you gotta roll over every morning, look in the mirror, good God, I look rough. But god damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, harr, sexy, ooh, yes, meow, you know? You cheeky devil, you know? Just need your pipe, I've got it right here. Yes. Indeed it does. How's it going, Sadiva? How you doing, you beautiful bean? Stupedia redeeming show dono with speech, which means I gotta talk about this. Friends, we have a donation goal for me to go to not Amsterdam, Rotterdam. Go to Rotterdam for TwitchCon EU. And as you can see, a lot of people have been very kind in helping me afford to get over there and get all the bits and pieces and do all the stuff. I'm really hoping to go to TwitchCon EU this year. And I am already putting money aside to get it all sorted and what have you, and all of this money is also going towards it. So a massive thank you to those people who have already donated and been so unbelievably kind with the money that they have available to give to me, you beautiful beans. Friends, remember the donations should always be used with spare money, not money that you have put towards other things, including living your life and enjoying yourself. You always come first. That is the way this should be. It is always appreciated, but it is never expected, friends, okay? So just be aware of that. But that is what the new dono girl is for. Stupedia has redeemed that I talk about it, so there is me talking about it. You gits. You know? Those adverts caught us off guard. Look, sometimes it happens. You know? Azine and Patrick, especially as a trans woman, I chuckle when people look at me weirdly because I don't pass as a woman yet. The idea of passing as a woman, White Wolf Antics, you are a woman. You were born in the wrong body, but you were a woman. There's no passing about it. End of story. There's no passing about it. Even within the cisgender, all right? Even within cisgendered individuals who are people who identify with the gender that they were given at birth. You know, even with those cisgendered individuals, that you get people like me who are extremely feminine men, and you get people that are extremely masculine women. There is like masc and there is femme, but the fact of the matter is you are a woman. Parts of your body weren't correct when you were born, but that's on genetics. That is not on you, you know?
Lil Gem 1990 is being far too kind. Confound them.
Lil Gem. Little Gem! Lil Gem. No. No, Lil Gem, no. People throw some egos in chat, say a massive thank you to Lil Gem. Lil Gem, that's so much money. And you donated the same amount of so much money a little while ago as well, you cheeky devil. Lil Gem, that's so much money. You better not be putting yourself in financial hardship, you beautiful bean. Thank you so much. No idea what you're on about.
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
I'm working, so I'm technically not here, but hello.
Oh, hello. You're not here. That's fine. That's all right. Nobody saw a thing. Sorry. Shh. All quiet. Shh. Little Gem, thank you so much, you beautiful being. That is far too kind. All right. That's it. That is it now. You're not allowed to donate for 10 years. That's so fucking kind. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you're good. I'm glad that you're good and it's not you. Pesky little scamp. Friends, I need egos in the chat right now to say a massive thank you to Little Gem, please. You should all have access to the ego emotes. Please say a massive thank you to Little Gem.
Stupedia is being far too kind. Confound them.
I'll be with you in a moment, Stupedia. I'm not even going to look. I'm not even going to look yet, Stupedia. I'm going with you in a moment. What's it doing? Chags! Chags, you cheeky devil. 47 months! It's all right. You're technically not here. Nobody saw you. It's fine. It's all right. Nobody saw you. It's grand. Do you start something? I hope not. You people are already far too fucking kind to me, all right? Already far too fucking kind to me. Jags, by having your name on the mirror, Veiny means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you got to roll over every morning, look in the mirror. You go, God, I look rough. But god damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, harra, sexy. Ooh, yes, meow. Friends, I see those egos, and I require more egos. To say a massive thank you to Stupedia as well. Stupedia, thank you very much. Brat Train, you can't get a Brat Train with donations. Because donations don't go through Twitch, they come directly to me. It means that they don't contribute towards the donation thingies, the Brat Train. So, you know, just then you don't donate. And also don't start a Brat Train. Finger slip to Miss Lube. God damn it. God damn it, Stupedia. Little Gem's like, oh, I have a button. Oh, a button. Oh, a button. God damn it. Little Gem, you cheeky devil. And also Stupedia. Thank you so much, you beautiful being. You people. You people. God damn it. Right. Let me catch up with what the fuck is going on here. Do you know what we need to do, friends? Where's Luke when you need them?
Paul is being far too kind. Confound them.
What the fuck? Feel the love? What the fuck? Cal? You shall go to the ball. People, more egos in chat. Say a massive thank you to Cal. I won't say any further of their name in case they don't want me to, but... More egos in chat, please, friends. Cal, that's so much money as well. That is so much money. You people. This is too much, friends. This is too much. This is too much. You no more. No more. You have your like lives and stuff, okay? You have things in your life that will make you happy. Just come on now. Don't cry. I can't cry, painted lady. I've shriveled up tear ducts. God damn it. Just friends, please just thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. But please just make sure that don't be donating money you don't have, all right? Is your mascara waterproof? Fucking hope so. Not that I need to, Calandra, because obviously I have shriveled tear ducts. One of the greatest things about being a performer is I can hide behind the mask of performing. So when I get super flamboyant, you know what's going on, all right? Little shits. We're halfway there. Fucking hell. 53%.
Oh, you're donating.
Jessica is being far too kind. Confound them.
No. I said no. I said stop. I said cease and desist. Hold on. I have a sound effect for that. Where the fuck?
Cease and desist.
You hear? God damn it. Jazzagal, thank you so much. You bring out the best in us. I don't. I confound thee all the time. I shake my fist in an angry fashion. All of the egos, please, friends. Say a massive thank you to Jazzagal. Friends. We're good. We're just gonna take a moment. Do you know what I mean? Sounds more like you should be stand and deliver your money or your wife. Right in the mirror. a bullet or a knife. Jazzagal, thank you so much, you beautiful. Thanks so much, everybody, for throwing those egos out. Say a massive thank you to all these people that have donated. You people are unreasonable. Like, actually unreasonable. All right? Just... This is so much money. This is outrageous. Okay? He says more chaos. I do not say more chaos. Don't you be putting words in my mouth. It's not the only thing many of you would like in my mouth, right? Cheeky devils. God damn it. Friends, this is too much. Thank you. Okay, hold on. Thank you. Thank you for helping me to... Thank you very much for helping me to sort out stuff for TwitchCon. I really, really appreciate it. Then what should we put in your mouth? Stupedia. You are incorrigible. You are incorrigible! My usual response to being called unreasonable is bite me. See? Told you wanted more things in your mouth, in my mouth. Cheeky devils. God damn it. God damn it. Okay, right, friends. It's been like an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm gonna very swiftly move on. So that I don't have to deal with these emotions. And we can get straight into the joys of today's subject matter. All right? So once again, a massive thank you. Just rounding this up, thank you very much, everybody, for all those donations. Thank you very much, everybody who threw the egos out to support the donators. I really, really appreciate it, because I understand that not everybody has the disposable income to be able to help out and stuff. And some people just don't want to, and that is also perfectly fine. That is also perfectly okay. I am not here to judge anybody and their choices of how they spend their own money. But a massive, massive thank you to all those people that have donated to help me out. I really, really, really appreciate it. Not just today, but also previously. I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. Poor. Right. Okay. Ah, God damn it, you people. Okay, so today, friends, we are doing Mythical Mondays. Yeah, I did not think... You fucking did. You did! Today, we're doing Mythical Mondays. And today's subject of Mythical Monday is...
The painted lady is being far too kind. Confound them.
I want to see your shriveled tear ducts work again. Painted lady! People throw some egos in chat saying massive thanks to Painted Lady for that donation as well. You pesky little devils, you. Stop. I'm trying to do an educational bit. Should have known better than to try and move on. Look, we are doing education. We are doing education now. Okay? You gits. Turn off all the... You see, I would turn off all the alerts if I genuinely thought it would stop you. But it wouldn't. You people would just go behind my back. And I know this because a few years ago, some of you pesky little devils, decided to start an offline hype train. I don't even think they're able to do them anymore, but it was one of the things that when hype trains were first a thing, you started like an offline hype train where you all piled in when I wasn't even live and just started a hype train for the sheer shits and giggles of it. I don't think you can do them anymore, but Strasius, let's not point that out, okay? Let's just swiftly moving on. Today, friends, we are looking at the Succubus, for it is February, the month of romance. Let me turn off this light for more atmosphere, if I can. Yes, more atmosphere. I've got candles and shit. Yes. No, Asari. Stop it, you cheeky devil. Stop it. And today, because it is the month of romance, we're going to be looking at the most romantic of the devils and demons, the succubus. Now, people have been asking whether we will jump into the incubus as well on this matter. We will be touching on the incubus because they are very closely connected. In fact, in some mythology, they are the same demon. They are the same demon that can flick between forms, either being a female or male, gender fluid demon, shall we say. And they are the sex demon. However, I don't want to touch too much on the incubus because whereas the succubus is, to my understanding from what I know about the demons as a whole, the succubus is far more of a, I'm going to tempt you, I'm going to lure you away, I'm going to feed off your vital essence, the good old Skeksis way. But by doing so in an alluring fashion, like the sirens would draw in the heroes with their song, etc. The succubus would do it as like an alluring, come find myself very appealing, intriguing, beautiful, look at me and my delightful breasts. Whereas the incubus was far more in the realms of sexual assault, shall we say. And I don't want to trigger anybody by talking about that stuff, all right? So, we're going to primarily focus on the succubus. We might step into elements of the incubus, but only in how it relates to the succubus. I don't want to get into realms where I'm triggering people because of like the way that the incubus goes about things, you know? Fucking love you lot. That's all a week or two ago, so yes, they can be. You don't want the information getting out? Everyone ignore this message. I totally did not say, no, I don't talking about stress. It's fine. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. Mod reminder, please do not encourage others to donate. Some actually get FOMO. Nothing but love to all those, as you do know. Do you know what, Jam? That's a really, really good point. Because I haven't seen it much in our channel, but it has happened in the past where people have been like, "Hey, everybody, let's donate," and I'm like, "No, let's not do that," because people do get FOMO. They do get the fear of missing out. They do get the idea of, oh, I want to do stuff, and they don't have the capabilities to do stuff. If you would like to donate yourself using your own money, and you have that disposable, and it is available, and you're not putting yourself in any hardship to do so, then that's up to you. And I will, like I said, never expected but always appreciated. But yeah, let's not encourage other people to do so. Thank you very much, Jam, for pointing that out. I really appreciate it. Also, that succubus means bottom and incubus means top. Not quite, but the etymology of the word does go along those lines. So the etymology, I've literally got the page over here. The etymology, the term derives from the late Latin succuba, paramour, from the succubare, which means, succubare in Latin means to lie beneath, whereas incubare, as I understand it, means to lie on top. So with the idea that in a heteronormative dynamic, the woman lies beneath the man, you know? As when I say, I love this community, everyone's made me feel so welcome and at home and helps out spot. Oh, thank you very much, Sassler. I appreciate you saying that. Lurk away, Calandra, you cheeky devil. I appreciate that. Stupedia, that would explain how random the amounts that you donate are. You know? Do birds have incubators? Oh my god. Onion pencil. Really? Really? God damn it. Right, okay, so in regards to, this is like the Wikipedia article that I'm looking at here. So a succubus is a demon or supernatural entity in folklore in female form that appears in the dreams to seduce men, usually through sexual activity. According to religious tradition, a succubus needs semen to survive. Like vampires need blood, a succubus needs semen. Repeated sexual activity with the succubus will result in a bond being formed between the succubus and the man, and the succubus will drain or harm the man with whom she is having intercourse. In modern representations, the succubus is often depicted as a beautiful seductress or enchantress rather than a demonic or frightening being. The male counterpart is the incubus. I'll just quickly open the incubus. Just to see. Yeah, so the male incubus was a demon in male form in folklore who seek to have sexual intercourse with sleeping women. Because, of course, there was no such thing as the LGBTQIA in medieval times.
Oh, you're donating. Oh, you're
Lil Gem
cheeky
1990 is being far too kind. Confound them.
Lil Gem is desperately trying to derail my education. Lil Gem, this not be... Lil Gem. Stop. Thank you so much. That is, once again, so much money. This is outrageous. Right, stop now. Stop. Stop now. Friends, for those amigos in chat, say a massive thank you to Lil Gem. I really, really appreciate you, beautiful being. That's so much money. Thank you so much. Honestly, you better not be putting yourself out of pocket for this shit. This preposterous bullshit that comes out of my face. God damn it. 69 is perfect. That'll do. Oh, fucking hell. 69%. Really? Really? Really, Lil Gem? God damn it. Interesting that the incubus can only get some while their target is sleeping. Well, to Arthur, from what I understand, I'll talk about what I understand momentarily. Because that's... Thank you so much, Lil Gem. I really appreciate it. I'll talk about what I understand from my own research to do with the succubus and the incubus, and then we'll get into whether that's actually true or not by looking into all these different articles that I pulled up and what have you. 69%, god damn it. You've completely derailed my train of thought. Ladies and gentlemen, all genders outside and between, Asari Greenfire has redeemed to praise the mods. Could you do me a massive favor and throw out some mod loves in the channel? Say a massive thank you to those wonderful moderators. You can use any kind of mod loves from any kind of channel. You can use any kind of love hearts from any kind of channel. Say a massive thank you to those wonderful moderators. Mods, thank you so much for all that you do. Thanks so much for all that you do for me, for this community, for what you do for me behind the scenes, cheeky, and also for the community in the Discord off stream. I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate all you do, you beautiful beings. Thank you very much, Sorry for claiming that. I really appreciate it. How's it going, Felix? How you doing? You're beautiful individuals. And yes, we accept all emotes from all channels. We're all about that shit. Right. What the fuck was I talking about? God damn it. So, the succubus. From what I understand of succubus and incubus, they were brought about as demons to explain the temptation of men, basically, or of man as an entire species, you know, of human beings. I always understood that the incubus was the whole thing about the incubus was to do with like it was like one of the iterations of sleep paralysis demons, like when you were having a dream and it was a sexual dream, but you sort of like what became half awake and you had like that weight on your chest of like sleep paralysis and stuff like that. That was put down as like part of the powers of the incubus. So you will see like some old paintings and stuff of an incubus like sat, a little gremlin demon sat on the chest of a sleeping woman to really show the weight of that sleep paralysis effectively. And yes, to do with lust and desire, 100%. The whole thing about the incubus was that if a child was born of an incubus, usually classic manipulation and control of women, if a woman had a baby out of wedlock, people could claim that it was the child of an incubus. That an incubus decided to sleep with this sleeping woman, decided to have sex with this sleeping woman, and therefore this illegitimate child appeared, this bastard child appeared. And it was often thought that because of that, the bastard child was going to be evil. Do you know what I mean? It was like, right, this child is obviously evil. because it's the child of a demon, you know? Old school views of witches and warlocks and evil magic users were often seen to be the children of Incubus, you know? But the reason why I'm staying away from Incubus so much is, like I said before, they are associated far more with forcing themselves upon the sleeping women, as opposed to the succubus, which is a lot more alluring. Come, tantalize me. The succubus themselves are, again, from my understanding, and we're going to look into this a bit further, is the female version of the incubus, another sexual demon, but again is a lot more alluring, a lot more tempting, and what have you. And one of the things about this, and this is what really fucks me off about it, but I'm genuinely still intrigued by how it goes down, is the idea that again, it was part of the patriarchy. It was part of the view of men are never responsible for their own errors. So if a husband had an affair with a young woman, for example, whether that woman had a choice or not is another question entirely. But if a husband had an affair with one of the maids, or a young woman of the village, or something like that, the husband could openly say, "Oh no, she was obviously a succubus," because no man would willfully have an affair. No man would willfully be like have sex out of wedlock. Oh God, no! Heaven forfend, definitely not. It must be the power of a succubus. It must be. It was a very quick way for people in the Middle Ages to justify their dishonest acts, you know? Dishonest acts. Little Gem, come here, you cheeky devil. Come here, you. A well-deserved cheeky kiss. Thank you very much, you beautiful bean. You know? Cast a spell on me, shite. Yeah, exactly. Oh no, I happen to have slept with this woman. She must be a succubus. I definitely would never cheat on my wife, despite the fact that the marriage was an arranged marriage, and therefore I had no love for this woman in the first place. No, we were wedded under God's dutiful gaze, and therefore I could never have cheated on her of my own free will. It must have been that a spell was cast on me, you know? A painting called The Nightmare by Henry Fuseli describes what you basically said. Is very famous painting. Yeah. There's quite a few paintings of like succubus and incubus, and it's always to do with like sleeping people. But yeah, and they thought that no woman should have desires of that nature, so they have to be succubus. Exactly, Felix March. Yeah. That is exactly, is that whole dynamic of a woman. Well, you've got to remember also for many, I mean, it was literally in the, 2004? We actually did a whimsical fact about this, about sex a while ago, about this. It was like 2002 or 2004, which was the first medical mapping of the clitoris. Literally within our lifetimes, they medically mapped the clitoris. Of all of the women didn't, people with vulvas, should I say, were never perceived to have any reason to have sex other than procreation. Sex was a pleasure for a man, or people with penises, and a duty for a wife. Do you know what I mean? That long, what took them so long? Bumbling Bee, very simply, medical science was run by men. That is literally it. That is the entire reason. Medical science was run by men, and therefore they just didn't really give a shit about people with vulvas. They made vast assumptions, and medical science is still suffering from those assumptions. The amount of times that people with vulvas are actively not listened to, including by other people with vulvas within the medical industry, because, you know, they experience periods and stuff. So obviously this person's full of shit. It's outrageous. But yeah, that's effectively what took them so long. It literally came down from what we read about when we did that whimsical fact. It literally came down to the fact that this medical student who was training to be a doctor realized when studying biology in her medical training that it didn't exist. That there was no medical mapping of the clitoris. So she went, well, fuck that noise. I'm going to do it myself. And she did. It was literally down to the fact that somebody with a vulva went, what the fuck do you mean there's no medical mapping of the clitoris? The most powerful pleasure organ of all genders. Do you know what I mean? As a man, I'm very curious about how women function. Oh, and I hope you never lose that curiosity, Neviversal. Even as a man, I'm curious about how men function. I'm curious about human beings because human beings are all unique, and I find human beings, especially within sexuality, fascinating, you know? But anyway, enough of my tangents down the wonderful world of coital engagement. Back to the wonderful world of the succubus. So do you know what? It's interesting that it says here that the religious tradition of succubus needs semen to survive, because I thought that was just a hentai thing. All right? I knew that the succubus drained the soul from a person. They drained the soul from a human being. And I remember when we were doing the deep dive into vampires, which is available on the VODs and Vanity YouTube if you want to go check it out, that there was in the medieval times, in the Middle Ages and stuff, you had an entire thing where the church had decided that there was a blend of soul and blood. So the reason why vampires drank blood was because they were absorbing the soul. But this is the first time I've actually read something about them actively needing semen to survive. I just thought that was a fucking hentai thing, because every succubus in any hentai is like, I need the semen. It's like fucking like a genuine addiction to them, you know? Still can't believe how the old one you showed us about the placement of things in the diagram. Oh yeah. The fact that the uterus isn't spread out, it's all compact down and folded in on itself. Yeah. It's wild, you know. It's weird knowing that I have a pronged organ inside me. Well, it's not pronged. That's the thing. If you're talking about the fact that you've got a I suppose the clitoris is, because it's got the thingy, but you know, the semen thing feels like something certain men would say, oh yeah, 100%. 100%. They need semen. They need to drain me of my vital essence, and obviously. Whereas it makes no sense. Like, if you think about it from a logical point of view, if demons feed off souls, as demonology would have us believe. How's it going, Poppy darling? How you doing, you beautiful bean? Then why would they need semen? Unless there's a direct connection between semen and the soul. I suppose there's the idea that every sperm is sacred, every sperm is good. The whole idea that semen itself has some description of soul in there, but I don't know, it's a bit wild. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so I was under the impression that the succubus demon came from the real rise in demonology, which was seen more in the medieval time, during the Dark Ages, when they were all about burning books, and trying to control people's knowledge. One of the big things they did was scare tactics. It was always do what we tell you, otherwise you're going to hell. Do you know what I mean? See you later, Jem. You take it easy. Thank you so much. No, don't you be coming next stream to add more chaos. You cheeky devil, you. You take it easy there, you beautiful being. Thank you very much for stopping by, and thank you so much for your unreasonable generosity. It means a lot. It means a lot, you know? Burning butts, slightly different, you know what I mean? Coming when we're talking about semen, perfectly normal Valen stream. Yeah, basically. Basically. Maybe where the semen demon comes from. Oh, definitely Death by Muffin. Definitely. But yeah, I thought the succubus demon came about during like the Dark Ages and the medieval times, where the church really hammered in the idea of you've got to do what the church says, otherwise you're going to spend eternity in hell. That's really where all of these different demons or the names of the demons came from. However, it says here that in Jewish folklore, the Jewish mystical treatise, the Zohar, and the medieval Jewish satirical text, the Alphabet of Ben Sira, the first succubus was Lilith, who, for those people that don't know, Lilith was, you know, Adam and Eve? Lilith was Adam's first wife. She was cast out of the Garden of Eden and became the first immortal, the first, for lack of a better term, demon. And the quick TLDR for those people who are watching either live on stream now or in the VOD. I know a lot of people have heard of Adam and Eve, Adam and Lilith. So the story goes, this is not according to the King James Bible. This is the original Jewish story, the original Old Testament or the Torah. Lilith refused to put up with Adam's check. Yeah, effectively, God made man and woman, and he made them both out of the earth. So he made Adam, because the story in accordance with the King James Bible, and let me also remind everybody that King James, who the most popular Bible that exists today, was an iteration done by King James. King James was also the person that basically led the witch hunts throughout Europe. He was the person who wrote the how to torture a witch guide. He was the person that wrote demonology. He was all of the fucking horrible shit that the church has done to women was pretty much by King James. All right, so he cut out Lilith entirely. Lilith doesn't exist in the King James Bible. All right. Lilith is the witch of lust if you worship her as a deity in witchcraft. All right, okay, did not know that. How's it going on, Gribble? How you doing? So Lilith was Adam's first wife. The Garden of Eden, the whole shebang, that stuff all stands. It was like the God created the Garden of Eden. He did all the 7 days when he creates the earth, etc. And then he created man. He created man and woman, both of them out of the earth. They were equal in all ways. Completely and utterly. They were made in God's image. They were completely fucking equal. God made man out of the earth. God made woman out of the earth. And he called them Adam and Lilith. Lilith wouldn't do what Adam wanted her to do. So Adam complained to God and said, hey, I don't like this. I'm not fucking happy. This is meant to be paradise, but Lilith won't do what I tell her. So God cast Lilith from the Garden of Eden to the barren wastes of the earth, where she wasn't stripped of her immortality, which is one of the reasons why she became a succubus or became a demon or became the first immortal. There's lots of different stories and what have you, you know? And made Eve out of one of Adam's ribs. Because Eve was made out of one of Adam's ribs, she was thus subservient to Adam. She was thus weaker than Adam, thus more subservient to him as a person, which is the bit of the story that an awful lot of Christians either don't know about or choose to actively ignore. Okay? So, she won't be a sex slave, boohoo? Well, this is the thing, Bumbling Bee, because to our knowledge, in accordance with the understanding of the Bible, I couldn't possibly say, I don't know enough about the story of the Torah, the original Jewish story, but in the Bible, it was the knowledge taken from the apple that gave them the understanding of sex and procreation. So before that, they had no concept of sex. They had no concept of procreation. They had no concept of nudity or what their parts should be used for. How's it going, Duchess Mona? How you doing? So, realistically speaking, it wasn't even a case of Lilith wouldn't do the sex stuff that Adam wanted her to do. It was purely down to Lilith wouldn't do as she was told. Take sex out of it completely. Lilith wouldn't do what she was told. And I might be wrong because I don't know the Torah element. Do you know what I mean? I don't know the Jewish text. It may be that the Jewish text has something to do with the fact that they were sexually active or what have you. But to my knowledge, one of the big insinuations around the serpent tempting Eve with the apple was to give them the knowledge of sex, procreation, nudity, the fact that they can do things by themselves, free will, effectively. Because before that, there's a whole load of arguments as to whether they did have free will and all that jazz, you know? Adam's version of paradise is to have someone he can boss around. Adam truly is a brozo. Oh, yeah. Chad 101, you know? From what I understand, she was too independent for Adam. Yeah, effectively, yeah. She did not do as she was told. So Adam complained to God, and God went, "Oh shit! All right, yeah, no worries. We'll just cast her out of the of paradise, and I'll make you a more subservient companion." Fair enough, whatever, you know. Yeah, no. Oh, Poppy, darling, don't you worry, it's still there. I just got distracted entirely with my joyous my joyous wonders of delving into theology, because I fucking love that shit. Come here, you cheeky devil. Come here, you. Don't you worry, you will always get your cheeky kisses, because they pop up in a little list for me to see, and I will always get round to them. But you will find that I tend to wait until I've got to a point where I'm finished what I'm doing, and then I'll get to it. You know. There's a woman after your own heart. Too bad she didn't kick Adam where it counts. Well, it wouldn't have hurt him, because they had no concept of what that stuff was all about. Do you know what I mean? This is when you get into like the theology of it, it gets really, really interesting. Can you make 2 points? You most certainly can. One to a couple. You most certainly can. We are going to jump back into the succubus side of things in a minute, but oh my lordy. Oh, okay. Let me just quickly check when the Zohar and the alphabet of Ben Zira. The alphabet of Sirach, Ben Sirah. Anonymous is the Middle Ages. So it was the alphabet of Ben Sirah was Middle Ages, and Zohar was commentary on the mystical aspects of the Torah, the 5 books of Moses. But when was it written? First publicized by Moses de Leon. Okay, so that was 1240 to 1305. So they're, quite late on after all of that. So they're still like Middle-Age texts. So the Middle-Age texts first describe Lilith as a succubus. They're the first ones to really describe Lilith as a succubus. Again, Middle Ages element. However, they say here that according, like I said, this is Jewish text, not Christian text. Jewish text, Jewish Middle Ages text, should I say? She left the Garden of Eden. She left Adam and refused to return to the Garden of Eden after she mated with the archangel Samael, who later became a demon, if I remember my demonology, which is loose because I remember there being a demon Samael, but I'm not sure if it's the same person. In Zoharistic Kabbalah, there were 4 succubi who mated with the archangel Samael. The 4 original queens of the demons: Lilith, Asheth, Zenunim, Agrat Bat Mahalat, and Naama. Succubae may take form of a beautiful woman, but closer inspection may reveal deformities of the body, such as bird-like claws, serpentine tails. Folklore also describes the act of cunnilingus on their vulvas, which drip with urine and other fluids, apparently. Because, you know, obviously, the concept of a vulva doing what a vulva does is disgusting to the middle-aged human being. In later folklore, the succubus took the form of a siren. So later on, it seems here that the idea of the succubus and the siren from old Greek mythology sort of merged a little bit, because there's definitely things about Succubus, about Succubus having bird-like wings and stuff like that, you know. In older translations of the Bible, it states that Eve was created from Adam's side, not his rib. To my recollection, there's no evidence that the serpent in the garden was ever named Satan. Oh yeah, definitely not. The serpent in the garden is not named Satan. Satan is a completely... there is theological debate around it, but there is no... The serpent is always just referred to as the serpent. And the serpent's punishment was that because the serpent originally had legs, like every other lizard, and the serpent lost their legs as punishment for tempting Eve. But yeah, no, they're never referred to as Satan. It is later, more modern Christians who, in all honesty, probably haven't read the entire Bible, or at least tuned out whenever the important bits came, that actually refer to, Satan tempted Eve. And no, not even in King James's Bible, which is the one that most people refer to, you know. But that's interesting. I didn't realize I always thought that side and rib were the same thing, but yeah, no, actually his side is interesting. Yeah, Lucifer was the ruler of hell. Yes, so there's loads of different rulers of hell. Lucifer and Satan originally were two different people, and then effectively, have you seen Good Omens? No, I've seen a couple of episodes of it. Effectively, what it really came down to is that it got to a point in like the Middle Ages, especially, and post Dark Ages, really, where there were so many demons around because the church kept inventing new demons in different regions. They were like, oh no, that's this demon. Oh, this is that demon. And here we go with this demon and that demon and this demon and all of these demons. There was so many demons around that they started going, right, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take these, and these ones have got similar sort of traits, so they're the same ones. They're just different names for the same demon, all right? Because demons give out loads of different names because a true name has power and all of that sort of thing, you know? The snake fallacy runs rapid in the US church. It runs rapid in a lot of churches. The most bibliest of Bibles, yeah. How modern? Do you know when they were first conflated? King James was during the witch trials of Europe.
Ooh, you little stalker.
King James Bible, 1611. The most popular iteration of the Bible at the moment throughout the world is the King James Bible, which was originally translated in 1611. The reason why... Oh, that's all right. Yeah, thank you very much for asking. The reason why is because King James, if I remember correctly... I'll just double check to make sure. King James was one of the first... It was commissioned in 1604 and published in 1611. Effectively because he wanted it translated into English. Because one of the big things that King James did was that he wanted the Bible, because he was a very, very... too devout. He was a zealot, all right? I want to say he was a devout Christian, but he was a zealot of a person. But one of the things that he really wanted was, in ye olde pre-1600s time, the Bible and masses, all religious ceremonies were all done in Latin. And there was a big thing about the fact that nobody at the time really spoke Latin unless you were a religious scholar or a religious person, like a monk or a priest or what have you, or a bishop, cardinal, etc., etc. But they wanted to make it accessible to the common folk, so they can find it more appealing. They can find things that they identify with. So King James basically commissioned the translation of the Bible. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it was the King James Bible. that was the King James Bible was first printed by no. Oh, no. In which case, I'm wrong. It was the third translation of the English language approved by English church authorities. Okay. In which case, I take that back. I'm giving people wrong information. Oh, the first was done by King Henry VIII when he established the Church of England separate to the Catholic Church. He was like, right, fuck you and your Latin shit. I want to be able to divorce people. Also, I'm going to have the Bible in English. The King James Bible. Ooh. Oh, this is interesting. So there was a whole load of religious scholars who were working on the previous version of the Bible, which was known as the Geneva Bible. And effectively, King James felt that the Bible had anti-royalist tones. The Bible itself was too anarchistic. That's the word I'm looking for. They felt that the Bible was too anarchistic, so he rewrote the Bible to fall in line with... Oh my God, that's amazing. So every single time that the Bible described somebody as a tyrant, it was translated to troubling or some other word to avoid being critical of any monarchy. However, there is no specific evidence that actually backs that up. For this project, King James convened the Hampton Court Conference in 1604. The New English Version was conceived in response to the problems of the earlier translations perceived by the Puritans, the factions of the Church of England. James gave the translators instructions intended to ensure that the new version would conform to the ecclesiology and reflect episcopal structure, which is a hierarchy form of church governance. So once again, he basically translated the entire Bible to be more in line with what... To basically be more of a manipulation. Which is the reason why it cuts out loads of shit, by the way. The King James Bible has loads missing from it. Loads and loads missing from it. Like, actually, to be fair, the Catholic Church as a whole has cut out shitloads of stuff. Like, there's meant to be a gospel according to St. Thomas, and there's also meant to be a gospel according to Mary Magdalene. But the idea of a woman writing a gospel is fucking outrageous to the Catholic Church. And the idea of the doubting Thomas, having a gospel, that's disgusting. So, you know, like, it's really interesting when you actually look into it, how much has been cut out from the Bible itself. Where you've got stuff like say, Lilith. We're talking about Succubus. Lilith was the first Succubus, and she was the first wife of Adam, but she doesn't appear in any of the modern iterations of the Bible, you know? Kitten May, how you doing? How's it going? Are you still here? You beautiful bean? How's it going, Semba? Hello, you beautiful bean. I'm getting well into this shit. Can you tell? Ooh. Throughout history, priests and rabbis, including, tried to curb the power of Succubus over human. However, not all succubi were malevolent. According to Walter Mapp in the satire something or other, Pope Sylvester II was allegedly involved with a succubus named Meridiana maybe, who helped him achieve his highest rank in the Catholic Church. Before his death, he confessed of his sins and died repentant. Oh, wow. So there's a whole thing about the succubus helping a pope get to the top of the church. Basically, a woman helped the pope get to the top of the church, and as a result, she was deemed a demon succubus and probably killed. But don't worry, the pope confessed his sins. Yay! You know? Kitten May, come here, cheeky devil. What do you like claiming cheeky kisses, you cheeky individual? I know that homosexuality wasn't actually entered into the Bible the way that people use it until the 70s or 80s, which is horrific. Oh yeah, the original line that is used, if you actually go back to so the quotation that people use, I can't remember the exact verse and chapter, the chapter and verse that people use as a "thou shalt not be a homosexual," but in the original text it refers to pedophiles. It does not refer to homosexuals. It refers to "thou shalt not lie with a child the way you lie with your wife." Yeah, thou shalt not lie with a child. But the homophobia of entire societies changed that to be thou shalt not lie with a man in the same way, you know? Probably shouldn't believe everything portrayed on the TV. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Most certainly not. Yeah, we don't need that. That's fine. Okay, let's have a look at the origins and explanation of the succubi and incubi. All right, so this is a different article that I'm reading now. The ancient Greeks had a habit of an adult man having sexual relationship with their wards. Oh, Jason Andrew, the whole thing, within the ancient Greek society, their whole philosophy was men have sex with men for pleasure, and you have sex with a woman for procreation. That was their entire thing. You have sex with a woman in order to procreate. If you want pleasure, you have sex with a man, or with their vassals, their wards. Yeah. And there was a whole hierarchy to do with like the way that the gladiators were and the slaves were and all that jazz. Yeah. The power of Kitty compelled the Pope to get to the top. Yeah. And do you know what, Duchess Demone? There's an entire thing. There's some of the controversies. We're not going to go into them now, but some of the controversies around like the history of the Catholic Church are fucking fascinating. Like, for example, there was a female Pope. Many people don't know this. Many people don't know this, but there was a female Pope. I think her name was Pope Jane, because she lied. The reason there is now a regulation where before a cardinal can become a pope within the Catholic Church, they have to strip naked in front of all of the other cardinals to prove that they are a man. Because Pope Jane lied to become a priest, lied to become a bishop, then an archbishop, then a cardinal, became pope, and the only reason they found out that she was a woman was because she gave birth in the middle of mass. So she was a pope and she was promiscuous, you know? So she literally, she'd gone and she was about to, she gave birth in the middle of mass, and they were like, what the fuck is going on? Let us expunge this from history. Yeah, it's wild. Is there any mention of lesbianism in the Bible? Poppy Darling, no. And the reason why is because women were seen as property throughout the entirety of the Bible. In fact, to be fair, realistically speaking, until the past 100 and a bit years, women have always been seen as property. And therefore, the concept of a woman having any kind of sexuality herself was non-existent. Women didn't crave sexuality. Like I mentioned earlier, the Pope Joan, thank you very much, Death by Muffin. It wasn't Pope Jane, Pope Joan. The concept of homosexuality with women was just not conceived, like, because women didn't have sex for pleasure. A wife would have sex with her husband out of duty. It was only when you look at some of the the Indian traditions, the Hindu traditions and what have you, where you actually start to see like religious texts like the Kama Sutra and stuff like that that are dedicated to sex as an act of pleasure between all genders. That's the only time that you really get that side of things. And that's the reason why you get so much stuff around like people ignoring sex toys. Like the amount of archaeologists that find sex toys and they're like, oh, it must have been a fertility symbol that they used in prayers and rituals. And it's like, no, it's a dick. They use this as a sex toy. Obviously, it's the perfect size and shape to fit inside a vagina. They probably used it as a sex toy, you know? Things going on in the convent. Well, yeah, there's whole things around that as well. But yeah, she was also English. Love it. Love it. And all these spinters are out there in the world living their best lives. Yeah, 100%. Well, there was a thing. So if you actually look into like English law, I can't talk about anywhere else, but in regards to British law itself, we looked fucking months ago. We looked into the origin of the British law against homosexuality, when homosexuality became illegal in British law, and it was specifically about men. And there is there's studies, many studies done on this whole thing. It was men cannot sleep with other men. And when you do some digging, these studies would show that effectively the reason why is because they didn't want to highlight to women that they could be with other women. They didn't want to. They were like, no, if we tell them that lesbianism exists, they are all gonna go with other women. So let's just ignore that fact. We'll say it's a perversion of men, and just let women continue to believe that they are there in service and duty to us men. You know. My mother said to me in the early 90s, before getting married, you'll have to do things you don't want, but you're his wife, so you'll need to do it. My poor mom. Oh, Jesus, yeah. That is an entire generation of people. There are generations upon generations of people that have that attitude. That whole thing of, well, this is my duty as a wife. And it's like, no, it's fucking not. Not at all. Not even slightly, you know? Wait, we can be with other women? I know! Women that understands our bodies and will sit there and actually adhere to not only our physical needs, but our emotional needs as well. They will understand the parts of our anatomies that will cause pleasure to us. My God! My God! You know, looks at my girlfriend in shock and horror. I know, right? The scandal. Okay, back to Succubus. This is one of those ones that is going to derail a few times, I think. Okay, so the idea of Succubus and Incubus dates back as far as medieval and biblical times. So I was right. It was medieval times changing the ways that biblical times viewed it. Much like when we did the deep dive on the witches, King James, who wrote the King James Bible and demonology, he was the first person to dictate that somebody from history was a witch. So there is the Witch of Endor, who basically was a seer, a learned woman who she would scry. She would look into the future using bones and a pit of fortune, or I can't remember what the actual pit was called, but it was a pit. She would look down into the pit, and the underworld would tell her the future, effectively. And a king, an ancient, I think it was King Saul, basically asked her how, like, the war, how he could win a war, and she predicted his son's deaths and then his death, and she was just known as the Sorceress of Endor, not the Star Wars planet. But King James was like, no, she was a witch. Of course she was. Classic scenario. So it looks like this, the medieval period decided that earlier biblical references referred to demons, whether they did or not. The earliest writings The earliest writings of any kind of reference date back to Mesopotamia in circa 2400 BC. It was believed that demonic creatures called Lilu or Lilitu, female form, would erotically seduce men and women in their dreams. This is interesting. Erotically seduce men and women in their dreams. However, the actual title of succubus, to lie beneath via the Latin, and incubus, to lie on top via the Latin, were not applied to these mythical demons until medieval times. So there were previously demonic creatures known to seduce, because of course sexuality has been around since the dawn of the species. So it makes sense that any kind of religious sort of structure would have creatures that would do that, like the sirens, like the mermaids, like the gorgons and what have you. It would make the nymphs, of course, nymphs. It would make sense that they would exist, but they were given the title of succubus in the medieval times. Throughout the 15th century, theologians are documented to have discussed this demons in hopes of determining its origins of these disturbing night-prowling deviants. So basically, if you had a sex dream, if you had a wet dream, especially as a religious person, you had been visited by a succubus. Oh, the tragedy. How's it going, Sway? How you doing? Did learn something from a BBC Sound podcast, which the origin of the word gossip meant close kin. It was meant in particular to those people to you. Oh, those people close to you. Oh, that's interesting. I just thought it was an iteration of the well, I don't know the origin of the word, but I knew that it was given to the words of the title was given to those of learned women, usually, you know. Look, wait, you do your thing, Poppy. It's a shame that we don't have any Gorgons anymore. They all got hunted down and turned into Gorgonzola. I hate you, Milky Bog. I hate you so much. Succubus and incubus are one in the same. Throughout history, it's been believed that the succubus would come at night and would sexually attack men in their sleep, retrieving their semen. Okay, this is an interesting one, because my understanding of succubus was they were the ones that seduced as opposed to attacked. However, that's kind of encouraging that they actually have... Not encouraging that exists, but encouraging that the understanding of men being the victims of a sexual attack is quite an early concept. Because, of course, modern understanding is that, until very recently, was if you're a man, you obviously want it. Because all men want it, right? No, definitely not. Definitely not. They would then transform... Oh, shit. So some iterations of the succubus...
Oh, you followed me. Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you very much for the follow, you beautiful being. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. And also, there was a follow 20 minutes ago. Thank you very much for that follow as well. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I don't like to call people out just in case they're lurking, but you're very welcome here. So one iteration or one understanding of the succubus was actually the succubus and incubus demon are the same thing. Like I said before, the idea of that they are gender fluid. But this states that their original form was an incubus. So they would attack men in their sleep, coitally engage with them in a female form, then transform back into the incubus form. Oh my god! They would then transfer the sperm that they got from the men to other women in their sleep and impregnate them in hopes of the woman bearing a gifted child called a cambion, thereby deceptively spreading the species of incubus into humankind. These creatures can allegedly drain blood and life from humans to strengthen itself and continue its purpose. This is wild, friends. This is... My God. How did these people have sex outside of wedlock? Well, obviously, a succubus went in, had sex with this man in his sleep, took his sperm, transformed into an incubus.
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
Transformed into an incubus, went over to that woman, had sex with her in her sleep, using his sperm, and that's why she's pregnant with his baby. It definitely isn't because they had sex outside of wedlock. God forbid no. God forbid no. How's it going, Rach? How you doing, you beautiful being? Thank you very much for coming and using your Prime here. I really appreciate it. 19 months, my God. The only logical reason. Let me inscribe your name upon the mirror vein. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you go roll over every morning, look in the mirror, go, God, I look rough. But God damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy. Ooh, yes, meow, you know? You know, you cheeky devil. That is wild. Basic description of a succubus or incubus has remained very much the same early on, described as gargoyle-like wings and tail, horns and scaly skin. As time evolved, so did the description. In the 18th and 19th century, the description evolved into more human-like imagery. However, some people that have experienced visits from creatures still describe it in its original animalistic form. Do you know what's really interesting about this? How's it going, Rach? Hello. Is I watched a documentary with McSteffels a while ago on sleep paralysis. And basically it was a decidedly shit documentary. I think it was on YouTube, actually. It was a decidedly shit documentary, but it highlighted some really interesting factors. So I mentioned earlier about the fact that the incubus is associated with the sleep paralysis demon. That whole idea of when you wake up and you have sleep paralysis, you're sort of in a half asleep state where your brain is awake, but your brain hasn't connected back to your body yet. Because for those people that are not aware of like the way that the brain functions during sleep, when you fall asleep, your brain not physically disconnects, but effectively disconnects nerve endings so that when you dream, you don't lash out and enact the things that are going on in your dream. People with that faulty connection are known to do stuff like sleepwalk, sleep talk, and do stuff like that in their sleep. The disconnection there, or the lack of disconnection there, is the reason why those things happen within your sleep. The opposite side of that is sleep paralysis, where your brain wakes up, but it hasn't fully connected to the rest of your body. So if you wake up and you like your eyes are open, it's associated with some descriptions of hallucinations and stuff like that, but you can't move your body. Sleep paralysis, as many people will know it as, that's what's effectively happening. The brain chemistry hasn't connected up those neurons yet, so your brain is awake, but your body is still in a state of slumber, which is that whole thing. But in ye olde medieval times, they didn't understand this whole concept. So they thought that evidently a demon must be asleep, must be sat on you. As a demon must be sat on your chest. And there is a classic painting. Let me get it. There it is. It's called The Nightmare. It's the one we were talking about earlier. Do you know what I mean? What are you, Dracula RP? No, I am dressed like Vincent Price because we're doing education about demons. We've done vampires, we've done witches, we've done The Curse of the Mummy, we've done zombies, we've done Krampus, and today we are doing the Succubus. And naturally I dress like this so that people think I'm more educated than I actually am. And then we investigate things together, so we all become educated together. Can I just get the picture, please? There we go.
You subscribed. Most kind.
Hey at Valenvane, how are you? Valenvith.
How's it going, Red Queen Rhonda? How you doing, you beautiful bean? So this is, I'll be with you momentarily. This is a picture called The Nightmare. And this, basically is a descriptor of the way that the incubus is said to work. If you've got sleep paralysis, it's that waking up, but you feel heavy on your chest, you feel heavy on your body because you can't wake up, or you can't connect to the rest of your body because a demon is sat on your chest directly. That's an incubus. That is an incubus. Red Queen Rhonda, I should now inscribe your name on the mirror of vein. Coming back for the 8 months, you cheeky devil. You cheeky individual. How's it going, Authentic Cat? Hello, you beautiful bean. Red Queen Rhonda, your name is now inscribed upon the mirror of vein, which means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you got to roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, I look rough. But God damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, sexy. Ooh, yes, meow, you know? Every time Valen says nightmare, I half expect one of you brats to summon it. I mean, to be fair. I can imagine that. So that picture is of an incubus sat on a woman that is meant to represent the sleep paralysis demon. And what was I saying? Yeah, I can't remember now. I've gone completely off kilter. What was I talking about before? Talking about sleep paralysis. Talking about incubus. No idea. Cannot remember. Oh yeah, that was it. Thank you very much, Authentic Cat. There are versions of paralysis demons in many cultures. Yes, so I was watching this documentary with McSteffels, and the documentary was decidedly shit. But the interesting points that it raised was the fact that basically this one individual who was running who was doing the documentary went all over the world trying to find out about the sleep paralysis, or each culture's view of sleep paralysis, because they had suffered with sleep paralysis for many, many years, and they wanted to understand it better from a spiritual point of view. And it turns out that basically the vast majority of cultures across the entire globe, from like South Africa through all of the states, through Europe, through towards like the Eastern cultures and stuff like that as well, they all have very similar iterations of what a sleep paralysis demon looks like. People have vivid visions of a gargoyle-like creature. Sometimes it's swathed in shadow. Sometimes it's hiding above, lots of them crawl across the ceiling and drop down on things. Sometimes it's literally sat on them and what have you. It's wild, you know.
Flee.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, and all genders outside and between, delve deep into your pits of popcorn and throw them at the raiders. Throw them at these cheeky devils. Look at these people coming in here. I mean, really, could you even imagine? Who do they think they are? Who do they think they are? You outrageous individuals. The audacity, I tell you. How's it going, Ditsy Kitty? Hello, you beautiful individual. Hello, you glorious bean. Thank you very much for raiding over. I was lurking your channel the other day. I can't remember what you were playing, but I really like your little VTuber that you've got going on there. I hope you're doing well, though, you glorious bean. Welcome on in. How's it going? How's things? What are you up to? Tell me all about it. Tell me all the bits and pieces. Friends, if you're new here, 2 things you need to know about this channel. 1, you're not allowed to apologize. Faux pas, individuals, faux pas. Instead of saying sorry, try saying thank you. Instead of saying sorry, I'm late, say thanks for waiting.
Me. Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you very much for the follow, you beautiful bean. Instead of saying sorry, I'm such a burden, say thanks for being there for me. It'll make you a much more positive individual. 2, if you're under the age of 18, I have to ask you to leave. I've got to ask you to leave, for I am a colossal filth wizard, and I don't want to be corrupting the ears of the young. We are also talking about sex demons tonight. So yeah, if you're under the age of 18, please disappear off. Come back when you're 18, we'll have a good time. Do you know what I mean? You're playing Dark Atlas Infernum. What is Dark Atlas Infernum? Doing okay-ish. I'm a little bit of a sore throat, so I had to end a little bit earlier. Did some demo one-shots today. A lot of fun. Oh, I did those on Friday. When I was doing my extra stream on Friday, I did a whole load of different like one-shot games, which was really fucking cool. Which ones did you play and which one was your favorite? Thank you for the shout. You're very, very welcome. You're very, very welcome, you glorious bean. Well deserved. People from my stream, go check out Ditsy Kitty. Ditsy Kitty is a wonderful individual. They're a VTuber, if you're into your VTuber bits and pieces. And they play lots of different varieties of games. But from my understanding, they've always been on the darker variety. So if you enjoy a good dark atmosphere, go check out Ditsy Kitty. Go do the thing. Go do your thing. Ditsy Kitty, if you need to disappear off, if you need to go grab a snaffly treat, go do your thing, you beautiful being. Thank you very much for bringing your people over. I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Just want to say I like your outfit. Thank you very much. We're doing education today. And when we're doing education, once a month we do Mythical Mondays, all right, where we deep dive into the origin of a myth. We have done vampires, we have done witches, we have done zombies, we have done the Curse of the Mummy, we have done Krampus, all of which are available on my VODs YouTube channel, VODs and Vanity. YouTube. If you would like to check them out, they are there in amongst everything else. But there is a playlist called Mythical Monday. And yeah, you can check out whichever ones you'd like. They're really fucking cool. I've really enjoyed each of these deep dives. They've been really fucking cool. How's it going, Malpaca Lunchu? How you doing, you beautiful bean? And yeah, today, because it's the romantic month, I thought, you know what? Let's have a look at Succubus. And from what we're seeing is there has always been creatures, whether demonic or divine, that were around alluring people through sex, via sleep or from tempting them away from their wives and peoples and what have yous. And in the Middle Ages, in the ye olde medieval times, basically the church went, well, they're all succubus. Succubus, we found out that succubus comes from the Latin of to lie beneath, like a woman should, and incubus comes to lie on top, like a man should. We use inverted commas because we don't like that shit. Talmaline, how you doing? How's it going? I learned the hard way not to open my eyes during sleep paralysis. Also, hi, I'm new here. Also, hi, how you doing? How's it going? Welcome on in. Do you mind if I call you Tao or Malene? Or would you prefer one or the other, you cheeky devil? But yeah, today we are looking into Succubus. Because why wouldn't we, right? Dark Atlas Infernum was one of my favorite demos by far. You start in this occult house that has some shady business. Ooh, that is interesting. I do love a good bit of the occult. Do you know what I mean? Good bit of the occult. Good afternoon. We talking about Succubus. We talking about my ex. I mean, who am I to dictate? So far, we have found that there are a large variety of what could be perceived as succubus. However, the earliest historical mythical creature that was described as a succubus was Lilith, who was the first wife of Adam, as in Adam and Eve. Adam's first wife was called Lilith. And once she left the Garden of Eden, after being pushed out by God for not doing what Adam said not doing what she was told effectively, she had sex with the archangel Samael and became a succubus. There you go. That was the first iteration. However, there are a variety of them that are seen as the incubus. So we've just found out about a myth that basically explains conception out of wedlock. So in the Middle Ages, they used to believe that a succubus and an incubus were a single gender fluid individual or a single gender fluid creature, where a succubus would go and sleep with a man while he was asleep, take his semen, take his splooge, his love juices, transform into an incubus, and then go and have sex with a woman while she was sleeping, and then she would get pregnant with the other man's baby, but they didn't have sex. No, they didn't have sex. It must have been the work of a succubus and incubus. Oh, God, yeah, you know. Tao is perfect. No, I very much appreciate that. Love mythology is this regular thing. Kind of knew it. No, it's such as use it. It's fun.
You little stalker.
Thank you very much for the follow. I really appreciate it. And we do it once a month. I'm a sex educator anyway, so we talk about sex like all the fucking time. But we do Mythical Mondays once a month. The next one after today is March the 18th. We're going to be looking into the werewolf origin myth. All right. I'll give you a heads up now so you can stick it in your diaries. But Yeah, I love talking about sex. Sex is great. Sex is great, you know. By the way, Ditsy Kitty, if you need to disappear off, go grab a snaffly treat. That goes for all of your wonderful, wonderful raiders as well. If any of you need to disappear off, grab a snaffly treat, grab some kind of delightful beverage. Please do so. Please go and look after yourselves. You know. That's amazing. What is the best position? Depends on the people involved. Depends on the people involved. Because every single human being has a different assortment, an arrangement of nerve endings, and therefore different things will work for different people, you know? You know? This feels like a wild episode of Jerry Springer. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? I didn't even shag him, but I'm bearing his kid. He's got DNA. Fucking hell, must have been an incubus. Fucking hell. You know. Explains why I love sleep. Anti-chap, right? Sometimes it's the best way. It's the best way. The best positions are those that you and your partner enjoy the best. Oh, most certainly. Most certainly, you know. Best position is different for everyone. Oh, most certainly. And also different for different couples. Some positions that work really, really well with one couple, you might find whether you be monogamous and splitting up from one person and going to a relationship with another person, or whether you be polyamorous or ethically non-monogamous or whatever. Like you will find that different positions work better with different people. You know. Also, FYI, solar eclipse is next April the 8th. Next to be seen in the USA won't be till 2044. Oh shit. I did not know about that. I mean, I'm from the UK, so we probably won't see it just purely because of the fact that we always have nothing but cloud. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Thank you very much for that. You know, Star Goosey, how you doing? How's it going? Welcome on in. Welcome on in, you glorious bean. Right, okay, let's jump back into the joys of... Oh, okay, hold on. Awesome position. Ask Vala Schmeck's question. Ditsy Kitty has asked Vala Schmeck's question. This means they have used their channel points to redeem that. I am a sex educator, so I will answer. Are some positions more beneficial for conception? There's no science, to my knowledge, Ditsy Kitty, there is no scientific proof that any position would be better for
you followed me. Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you very much for the follow, you beautiful bean. That's why he's going to be able to see 98% of the clips. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Yeah, to my knowledge, there is no scientific evidence to prove that any position is better than any other for conception.
Subscribed. Most kind.
I'll be with you 2 seconds, Sussy Jesus, you cheeky devil.
Yeah, you subscribed.
Apparently we're getting double alerts, but all right, okay. We're just gonna go with it. That's fine. That's not a problem. The one of the big things about conception is less about the position itself. I mean, generally speaking, in regards to pure logic, the deeper the penis is, the less that the swimmers have to swim would be more beneficial to like the pure act of getting semen to the egg. However, it is actually far more important that the people involved are relaxed. Stress and stress that people put on themselves is one of the biggest problems with a lot of things when it comes to conceiving children. And conceiving children is nowhere near as easy as people think it is, despite the fact that there's obviously a lot of unwanted pregnancy and teenage pregnancy and stuff like that happens. It generally isn't. The egg chooses the sperm. It is not the case of the first sperm that gets to the egg is the one that wins. No, the egg will choose a sperm to impregnate it. And lots of things can change in regards to fertility, from hormones to stress to the fucking diet.
You followed me. Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you so much for the follow, you beautiful bean. How's it going, Miss Jelly? How you doing? diet, the time of night that you did it in ye olde times, in Shakespearean times, people used to sleep a broken sleep. So people wouldn't sleep for 8 hours. They'd sleep for 4 hours, get up for a couple of hours, then go back to sleep for 4 hours. That was like the thing that everybody did. And you see in like old texts, like old midwifery texts and stuff like that, they would say the best time to conceive would be between sleeps. So after you've slept the first time, you get up, you have a cheeky little rumpy pumpy bumping uglies, then you go back to sleep. And because of the fact that I think that's more down to the fact that you fall asleep with the semen inside you, that it helps with conception and stuff like that, you know? But there is no like one method fixes all. The most important thing is try and take away as much pressure as you can. Try and take away as much pressure, take away as much stress. There is a fantastic sex educator, or an old sex educator. She's actually retired from sex education, called Hannah Witten, and her husband were trying to conceive for ages and ages and ages and ages and ages, and they've got she has an entire series of videos that were dedicated to her struggles with conception. And the way that she ended up conceiving was because she would, like, her and her husband would have sex regularly. They'd be having sex every single night. They would keep a diary. They'd have sex at exactly the specific times that she's meant to. They'd track the ovulation. They'd track all the bits and pieces. They'd track their diet. They'd make sure all the things. They would literally be doing absolutely everything by the book in order to conceive. But all that ended up doing was putting more and more and more stress on them. And the way that they ended up conceiving was actually a random drunken night where they both just felt really passionate and had sex. And then she got pregnant. Because there was no well, I'm not going to say it definitely was because there was no pressure, but there is a big indication that a lot of it came down to stress. There was no expectation. There was just enjoyment. There was just fun and games between the two of them. The pair of them were enjoying each other's bodies as a couple, and it happened, you know? Best position is one of the forms of the letter A, because you need the Eiffel Tower in the word team. Wait, what? I should go to sleep. Oh, sway. Stress and trying to conceive 100% do not mix. I know from experience. Yeah. Well, stress in general is not conducive to a healthy sexual relationship. You know, it helps with stress, so you feel stressed after sex. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's never. I would never say. I just think that you should always try and, if you're having sex to alleviate some stress, entirely fair. That's an entire thing. But that's different from if you're trying to conceive. Like, stress and sex, generally speaking, don't mix unless you are alleviating stress through the medium of sex, you know? Same condition, which is why I was curious. You plan on having a family one day, so fingers crossed. Speak to medical professionals. Don't just speak to your doctor. I would strongly recommend that, especially if you've got something like PCOS and stuff like that, speak to other women who have, or other people, should I say, that have had PCOS. Speak to sex educators that have got knowledge of PCOS, because as much as medical professionals will be able to tell you all of the stuff that they have been taught, they may not have any experience. They may well not have a uterus themselves. So, yeah, my advice would always be speak to other people with the same condition. Speak to other people that have been through that experience. But in regards to sex, the one thing I can always say, especially when it comes to conception, is the less stress and pressure, the better. You know? So stressed with work, going through redundancy, trying to conceive at the same time. As soon as I was finally laid off, got pregnant. Yeah. My second born, me and my husband tried for 9 months. It was so stressful. Every month was heartbroken. But as soon as we decided to stop trying, relaxed, and actually enjoyed each other rather than forcing it for a purpose, we ended up catching the same month. Yep. See? As soon as that, and do you know what? That is a recur. I'm not going to say it's the same for everybody, but I will say it's a recurring story with people where they try to conceive and fail miserably, and as soon as they stop trying, they conceive. It's a recurring thing, you know. I believe that if the assigned female at birth person is on their back with their legs on the assigned male at birth person's shoulders, the angle should make it easier to conceive, but I may be wrong. The only reason that is, Poppy, is because of the fact that you get a very deep penetration there. You get very deep penetration, so the swimmers have less distance to swim, which does make sense, but it's not that there's no like scientific evidence for it. There's no conclusive conclusion among scientists, aka they can't prove any hypothesis. Exactly. And to be fair, like the science of sex is very new. You know, it's a very new thing. I've nothing to do with sex, but I really like your earrings. Thank you very much. They're little masquerade masks and feathers. You know, when I had my annual, I had my first feeling of judgment from the doctor after I said having kids might be a consideration, but not till I'm like 35, and they acted like I wouldn't be able to conceive after 35. Oh yeah, you can conceive as long as you've got eggs. You know, it just is definitely it's one of those things that needs to be considered, is the fact that the body does have a clock on it. And it definitely becomes harder to conceive for most people, not for everybody, but for most people it becomes harder to conceive the older you get, you know. More sex we have as people, the more we help science. For science! I mean, yeah. Just report all your findings, you know. Put all of the little electrodes on so they can study your brain waves and your rumpy bumpiness and get to it, you know. Thank you for all the information. Plan on having a family, and the PCOS is a new condition for me, so I've been panicking about not being able to be a mum. Ditsy Kitty, one of the big things that is going to stop you from being a mum is the panic. It's shit to say, but it is true. It's like the panic will put so much stress on your system, and even without PCOS, even without say a person has a perfectly healthy uterus and reproductive system, stress in itself can fuck an entire system. Do you know what I mean? The amount of people that have perfectly regular periods and then have a really stressful time at work and suddenly have irregular periods or really fucky hormone systems and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, that stuff happens all the time. All the time. Because stress has real, genuine effects on your body. People don't think it does, but it really does. Regardless of your gender, regardless of what genitalia you have, regardless of what is going on with your anatomy, stress has a direct effect on your body. It has a direct effect on your body. Went through the same feelings. Took a lot of education and time to understand, but I also know many people with PCOS who have been parents and mothers. Yeah. And the best people to speak to are those people. You know, I can give you general advice from my understanding, my experiences, what I have read, what I have listened to from other people and stuff like that, 100%. But I'm never going to be able to give you life experience like somebody who has been through it can, you know? Anyway, let's go back to Succubus, shall we? Let's get back to the Succubus. Where was I? Succubus are believing... the rest of this article goes on to say that it's in reference to the believability of Succubus within paranormal research and stuff like that. The Succubus, beautiful, desirable women. Unlike their male counterparts, the Incubus. Succubi sometimes have bat-like wings or demonic features. A medieval European law Succubi appeared to men in the night and seduced them into sexual encounters. Celibate monks seem to be especially prone to such attacks, often blaming succubi for their lustful thoughts or sexual dreams. Succubi could suck the life out of men, leaving them exhausted or even killing them. So this was one of the big things in regards to, like, one of the understandings of succubus, very specifically succubus, not necessarily incubus. All right, sex dreams happen. All right, sex dreams happen as a point of reference and regards to biology as well. If you are somebody with a penis, all right, your body does not stop producing sperm. All right, you in that cheeky little wrinkly beanbag of which you hide your little golf balls. They are two little manufacturing facilities, all right? We did a whimsical fact the other day, which was like the average person with a penis could impregnate every single woman. Like the amount of sperm that is produced in a testicle, in a set of testicles across 2 weeks could impregnate every single uterus of everybody on the entire globe. Everyone who's got a uterus on the entire globe. Which is an unreasonable amount of splooge, you know? But they don't ever stop producing sperm. They just keep manufacturing it. Keep manufacturing. The more that you have sex and or masturbate, the more it cranks up production, just as a point. So if you are having sex or masturbating multiple times a day, the more that your testicles will produce sperm, because it's going, oh, cool, you are needing the sperm this much. Right, the body needs to go into overdrive. We're going to use our resources in order to keep this procreation juice going, you know? However, if you don't masturbate and you don't have sex, then eventually the production gets real crowded in those cheeky little testes, and your body will find a way to alleviate the pressure, which is what wet dreams are. A wet dream, specifically in reference to people with penises, is where your body feels the pressure in your cheeky little gonads and goes, right, we need to alleviate this pressure. We are going to make this person have an inappropriate dream, some description of sex dream, and in the process, we are going to connect just enough neurons that the body is able to react to that and either play with itself or grind itself against the mattress, or sometimes just ejaculate through the sheer power of the imagination, because it is definitely possible. You can do it. The fact that is a possibility. So effectively, one of the sources of the idea of succubi coming in, and like, it wasn't always seen, as we've read in a couple of these, it wasn't always seen that a succubus had to be there physically. A succubus could visit a man in his dreams and still absorb the life essence, which is what these celibate monks were especially prone to. If these celibate monks abhor sex as a religious vow, then their biological functions will find a way to alleviate that pressure. Just because somebody commits themselves to celibacy does not mean that they don't get sexual thoughts, you know, and they don't have sexual urges. So their body would go, cool, let's make sure you have a sexual urge so that we can alleviate some of this pressure. Oh, look, you've been visited by a succubus. Yeah! Go you! You know? Feelings are totally valid, very natural to panic when the thing society has raised us for is purpose of reproducing better children. And the concept of not having an option is very jarring. Yeah, for a lot of people, 100%. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, it does. And thank you for saying that, Sway. Just means you need to get out at some time, like a volcano. Exactly, it definitely does. Need to get that little volcano times, you know? A friend of mine was telling me that he won't have kids. I asked him why. He's my best friend. He told me that because he would like to have kids when he He would like to have kids when he's over 30 because of financial reasons, but his doctor and teachers were telling him in high school that if you have kids over 30, they're going to have birth defects. Also in a Christian country. So how accurate is this statement about kids over 30? It's bullshit. Fucking bullshit. White Wolf Antics is absolute fucking bullshit. There are various different things that can affect like sperm count and sperm deformities. But just because a sperm is deformed in itself, like a sperm has multiple tails or a sperm isn't complete or what have you, does not mean that it will produce a child with a disability. Like that isn't the way that genetics works, to my understanding. In everything I've read, I've never read anything that says that is a thing. I know that sperm count is lower for people that grow up in industrial areas. The more that you grow up in like a polluted industrial area, the less likely you are to have a high sperm count. But there's no one size fits all. The best people to speak to are the doctors. Turn around and go, cool, I'd like to have a sperm count. I'd like to check to see if I'm infertile. I'd like to check to see what my sperm count is like. But what I will say is that if your friend, whether they be Christian or otherwise, it doesn't really fucking matter. If your friend has regular masturbatory sessions or regular sex, their sperm is more likely to be healthy, because the more that you get rid of the old sperm, the more space that your testes have to create new sperm. And when there's not like sperm hanging around, you're less likely to get deformities and stuff like that. Obviously, each individual is different. Each individual's genetics are different. Stuff like diet and stuff like that can affect it. But the thing in regards to diet is more down to just have a balanced, healthy diet. It's not like you specifically need to eat a single pomegranate seed on a Friday during a full moon every 4 years or any of that shit. It's literally just have a balanced, healthy diet. Don't eat too much of one thing. Spread it out. Make sure you know, like that kind of thing, you know? Everyone's different. Everyone's concerned about birth defects. If there's fertility counseling to give individual care. Yeah, and it also depends on whether you're in a place where the Christian values frown upon people getting medical help, because some places do. Some places like, no, it's God's plan and therefore you should never go and see a medical professional. And it's like, oh, fuck off. But yeah, if you are welcome to tell him from a sex educator that it is bollocks. It's different for people with uteruses, because the Sazra, what? Women over 40 are more likely to have kids with Down syndrome? I have never heard that. In everything that I have ever come across. 1 in 100 according to the studies online. Oh, really? Oh, well, in which case I have learned something new. I'll have to look into that. But I am, it seems that it's a 1% chance that is the case. What I will say is that when it comes to people with uteruses, the older you get, naturally your body grows and grows. Every single human being in the entire world, your body grows and grows and grows and grows and grows and gets to a certain point where it is peak, you know? And after that point, your body's ability to... Because effectively, your entire human... Fucking hell, Jesus Christ, we're really going into the biology here. That's why, Babbler, you take it easy, beautiful being. Thank you very much for stopping by. Your physical form is only ever 10 years old. Your entire body is only ever 10 years old. And the reason why is because every single cell in your body is... dies and reproduces and dies and reproduces and dies and reproduces and dies and reproduces, etc., etc., etc. You know, your cells clone themselves and then die. People shed skin. You see it all the time. All that stuff. The bones, your bones are the ones that take the bone cells are the ones that take the longest to duplicate themselves and like clone themselves, and that takes 10 years. However, the cloning of each cell is never perfect. Once you've passed that point of peak perfection, peak genetic perfection, which happens to every single person at a different point because of your own genetics, etc., etc., you start degrading, which is where you get stuff like wrinkles and stuff from, because your cells don't regenerate in perfection. You regenerate your cells, or your cells clone themselves at a slightly degraded rate, and therefore that is the reason why you age. Okay, so for people with uteruses, the same applies for your uterus. You know, whereas with people with penises, the sperm is fresh sperm every time. It generates the sperm anew every single time, which is the reason why you can have, like, fucking hell, what? Let me have a look here. Oldest father in the world. The oldest father in the world is Ramajit Raghav, who is 94 years old when he fathered his first child in 2010, and his wife was 52 at the time. And they had 2 sons 2 years later. So he was 96 when he was 96 years old when he had kids, you know? So as a point of perspective of how the sperm cells will just keep generating anew, you know? Whereas it's different when it comes to the uterus, because everyone with a uterus is born with every egg that they will ever produce, you know? From birth, you have all of those eggs within you, and they release one after another once you hit puberty, etc., etc., etc. The vast majority of probably have been educated in this in basic reproductive education in schools. However, your entire your uterus does degrade at the same rate that the rest of your body does. So once you've hit that peak that peak point of genetic perfection, and I'm not going to say it's personal perfection, I'm going to say it's genetic perfection, your body will degrade at a certain rate. So the older you get, the harder it becomes to have children. I'm not going to say it's impossible, because as we just saw there, that woman was 56 when she had thingies. What about the ovum? The ovum is the egg. Yeah, so the egg doesn't change. The egg is, from what I understand, the egg itself doesn't change. So it's not like it is a cell in and of itself, and therefore that doesn't change the entire time that you are alive. It literally just releases once every month. I say that in inverted commas because I know full well that it definitely isn't every month for some people, you know? No worries, White Wolf. No, I'm good. Thank you very much, Bon. I'm all right. If you want to see that shit, you need to check out the VOD that I did when I was dressed like a mushroom, because fuck that noise, you know? So yeah. Back to Succubus. This has been a really interesting dynamic, a really interesting series of tangents, but very different from what I was expecting, you know? There we go. There we go. You take it easy, Poppy. Thank you very much for stopping by. As you get older, you're basically scraping the bottom of the barrel. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that by any stretch of the imagination. I would say that because eggs are like, it just releases an egg at random. It doesn't like release the best eggs first and then the worst eggs later. It's more, to my understanding of biology, that isn't the way it works. It's just a random egg, and it's less down to the egg itself. It's more down to the fitness of your uterus to be able to house that egg for conception, you know? Ooh, there's a whole series of succubus here that we can look into. Let me just check if there's anything else in regards to the succubus here. Ooh, succubus also means spirit bride. Famous form of an incubus demon. Accounts of these demons appear in ancient Akkadian, Sumerian, and Greek texts. Oh, right. Okay. So the idea of sex-based or lustful demon-like creatures actually appears as far back as the Sumerian texts. However, as we have found out earlier, the word succubus didn't actually come around until the Middle Ages. The princess of demons is called Nahama. Succubus have often been described as exceptionally beautiful women, sometimes with bat wings or other flying animal wings on their backs. As with incubus, the succubus attack their victims at night, allegedly preferring religious-minded victims, which is what we've just talked about in regards to wet dreams and stuff. And the succubi seeking out sleeping men are said to drain them of their blood, breath, life energy, and semen, even to the point where the victims could die. Some resources say that a succubus doesn't even need to be physically present at in a man's room to attack. They suggest that succubus can simply enter the man's dreams and absorb their vital energies that way. Normally, the dreams will also be erotic of nature, leading men to experience deep sleep paralysis. So, okay, so it does actually have a crossover between the incubus and the succubus there as well. All right, okay. Right, we'll finish off with having a look at some specific succubus throughout history, you know? How's it going, Buken? As we age, people tend to get other health conditions like high blood pressure too. Maybe that contributes. I would imagine so. As much as people like to think about the fact that it's just like one system is different to another system and therefore they are not related, your entire body works as one organism. Things that affect any part of your body are going to affect the entire body, you know? It's a simple explanation of what my gyno said. Oh, wow. Well, Mama Ara, that's... I would probably have described it in a slightly different way, personally, you know? Mr. Statvan, did you debunk any misconceptions around succubus or incubus? No. Just there seems to effectively the origin as we understand it is the fact that the succubus as a word comes from the Latin to lie underneath, or to lie below, whereas incubus is to lie on top, inferring that missionary position, the succubus, the woman, should lie underneath. The incubus, the man should lie on top. And they are closely related to, or closely associated with sleep paralysis demons. And effectively, in the Middle Ages, that is where the term succubus came from, where they were like, okay, we have a whole load of religious people who are having erotic dreams. Those erotic dreams must have a reason. And they're obviously not from God, because God values chastity, God values piety, God values a person abstaining from sexual desires. They must come from the devil. So religious people, specifically men, had wet dreams, needed to blame somebody. They blamed it on the devil. Cool to see the religious connection to absolute filth stereotypes. Yeah. There are iterations. Obviously, then with the church being the way that it is, they look back on the rest of history and historical literature and go, cool, well, these people are obviously examples of succubus. The first of which was Lilith. The Lilith, being of Islamic and Jewish myths, however, was conveniently cut out of a lot of Christianity holy texts. Lilith was the first wife of Adam before Adam and Eve got together, and was banned banished from the Garden of Eden, and after being banished from the Garden of Eden, she slept with Samael, the archangel Samael, who then became the demon Samael, and became a succubus, as medieval people understood it. It says she is a succubus, a demon woman who hunts men, seduces them, and drains their life with a kiss. Jewish mothers believe that Lilith would come to take their children away and eat them, which actually falls into quite a few of other traditions in regards to like deities, especially across like Eastern European areas and stuff like that. There's a lot of deities who would steal children and eat them. What's her name? Very specifically. Oh, shit. Perchta, who has, as we saw in the deep dive on Krampus, Perchta was an alpine god who would steal naughty children to eat them with her offspring. That was the one. There we go. Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga is another one, but Baba Yaga was far more of a myth that was less divine and more folklore, whereas Perchta was actually praised because Perchta would defend wildlife and defend nature, and by being truthful to Perchta, by being honest and truthful and abiding by her rules, she would provide good hunts and shit like that, you know. There's a lot of European, like early European especially, religious beliefs where it was a lot less around praising a god and more around appeasing a god. And if you appeased the deity would provide good crops, would provide good hunts, would provide, like, it was far more of a personal basis. You would do favors for the gods and they would do favors for you in return, you know? No worries, Tao. You take it easy. You go sleep. Go sleep. Have a wonderful time. Thank you very much for popping back in. And I really appreciate the follow as well, you know? Sleep paralysis demons tend to be on top, though. The romantic picture, the nightmare, how else would they hit you down? Well, this is the thing, Nubarian. The very much in regards to sleep paralysis demons, so, from what I understand, from what we've read, the only reason that they are called succubus and incubus is because of the way that a man and a woman should lie in accordance with heteronormative religious, like, you shouldn't do it doggy style. The reason why the missionary is called the missionary is because of religious ideology, you know? It's like, okay, you are doing, like, this is your ultimate mission from God, is to procreate and create new life so that God can bring a soul down and from heaven give you that soul, that you can raise it in God's glory and it can continue to worship God, etc., etc., etc. It's the missionary, because this is what a man and a woman should do in the name of God. Like the missionaries who would go out to different countries and preach the word of God and the crusades and all that shit, you know? In that regard, the woman is below and the man is on top. So that's why they're like, oh, succubus, the woman, is the below, and incubus, the man, is on top. However, when it comes to erotic dreams and shit like that, we all know they can go all over the fucking place. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's more around of the etymology of the word is from below, thus woman, to lie beneath, thus woman, and to lie on top, thus man, as opposed to the succubus would always lie on the bed and the man would have sex with her that way, versus, yeah, I think it was more the etymology of the word and less the description of their practices, you know? Don't think sex demons would care for Christian values. Oh, definitely not. Especially if you've also remember the fact that, like, one of the main sources of the succubus idea comes from pious, chastised, religious monks. These people who had all of the urges of your average person and yet repressed them for the sake of their religion, and therefore their mind will have found ways to make them alleviate the pressure of the manufacturing facility that is their bollocks. Do you know what I mean? It would have absolutely just been like, right, okay, we're just going to make this shit happen. We're going to make this shit happen. Somehow, some way, we are going to make this shit happen, yeah? So, yeah, one of my favorite folklore myths is Grilla and the Yule Lads. Don't know those ones. Don't know those ones. I've heard of them, but I don't know too much about them. I picked up somewhat that it was considered bad, unholy position for prostitutes, etc., to do doggy style in medieval times. No idea, actually. I don't know. I could imagine so, but I think that's more down to the idea of separating, like, dogs would do it in doggy style, hence the name, doggy style. And therefore, if you are doing it in doggy style, you are doing it like an animal. And they're like demons would often do it in doggy style because they were animalistic in nature. Whereas human beings obviously would only do it in missionary because they were more enlightened as creatures. They was only in the 1800s that people started associating the idea of human beings and animals being the same, like having genetic lineage, you know? And there's a few others of these. The Lilin is another one. According to Jewish folklore, the Lilin are daughters of Lilith and Adam. Oh, shit. They actually... Oh, here we go, friends. Earlier on tonight, we were talking about the fact that Adam and Eve didn't know what sex was until they had the apple. Well, in accordance, that's how Christianity would have you believe it. The idea that they had no knowledge of sex until such a time as Eve tempted Adam into biting the apple of knowledge, and therefore they gained the idea of, okay, yeah, it wasn't even an apple, it was the fruit of knowledge. We don't know whether it was an apple. It's just been associated with apples for some unknown reason, but it never actually is described as an apple. The fruit of knowledge, and therefore suddenly realizing that they're naked, suddenly realizing they can have sex, blah, 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 all that jazz. However, here, in accordance with Jewish folklore, which was the original iteration of the Old Testament, Lilith and Adam had kids. Adam had children with his first wife, and the Lilin are the daughters of Lilith and Adam, engendered while she was his wife. They are demons, with their function being that of a succubus. Men and also mothers feared the attack of the Lilin because they were also said to kidnap children like Lilith. So when we said earlier the idea of like Lilith not wanting to be a sex slave and therefore standing up to Adam, that seems entirely right. She had sex with Adam, turned around and told him to fuck off when she wasn't in the mood, and Adam pissed and moaned to God and went, but she won't let me fuck her. Like the good old toxic dickweed he is. But they did have children, and it looks like, from what we're seeing here, it looks like God favored Adam over Lilith and all of their children. Because they had children, and they were all banished from the Garden of Eden, so that Adam could have a perfect paradise with his more subservient second wife. Interesting. Oh, shit. Apple or pomegranate? I've never heard it referred to as a pomegranate, but that's interesting. This is a very fascinating rabbit hole. Oh, yeah, it's fucking great. I love this shit. This is the reason why we do it every month, mainly so that I can dig deep into this stuff and be like, right, where are we going here? Another one is the Mara, the name of a fabulous ogress who hags people when sleeping. People feel a pressure on their chest, and sometimes some people report that they observe Mara lying on their chest, sometimes choking their necks, and mostly inducing sleep paralysis. So that's a really interesting one with Mara, because as I mentioned earlier, there is a documentary out there that basically went around a whole lot of different cultures, and the idea of a sleep demon being a hag-like woman is a common one. So that's interesting. That's really, really interesting. Rusalka, or Rusalka, yeah. In Slavic mythology, Rusalka was a female ghost, a water nymph or succubus-like demon who lived in a lake. Her eyes shone like green fire. Men who were seduced by her died in her arms, and so in some versions, her laugh can also cause death. She corresponded to the Scandinavian and German Nixie. The ghostly versions of the succubus is the soul of a young woman who died in or near a lake. Many of the Rusalki were murdered by their lovers and came to haunt that lake. This undead Rusalka is not particularly malevolent and will be allowed to die in peace if her death is avenged. Okay, that's a very different idea of a succubus. The Alu are the offspring of succubi. The Akkadian mythology, or the Akkadian mythology, they were the race of monstrous and faceless demons that destroyed all they could capture. They were engendered during a men sleeping with Lilitu, or one of her demon servants. When the man who engendered them was about to die, they surrounded his bed, waiting for the moment in which they could take their father's soul, impeding his travel to the underworld and making him an errant spirit feared by all living people. Jesus Christ, some of these are colourful, to say the least. Off topic, Baldur's Gate 3 got a major update on the 16th, over 100 gigabytes. If you haven't run the game since, make sure you're... Oh, thank you very much, Nibrin. I'll do that after stream today. Didn't they just realize they were naked? Well, it's an interesting one. When it comes down to the Adam and Eve and the whole knowledge thing, it wasn't just necessarily like the whole iteration of Christianity. There was a lot of argument that it was like understanding that they can procreate, understanding that they're naked, understanding that there is such thing as warmth and cold, understanding that there are seasons, like so many things that they just didn't get before because they never questioned it. And effectively, the fruit of sin, the fruit of knowledge, was the ability to question why. Why am I naked? Why am I not covering up? Why does the sun move the way it does? Why does the wind move the way it does? You know? Everyone watching Has Been Hotel? No. I have not been. I've heard it's very, very good. I heard that the fans are fucking loving it, and the people that have been waiting for ages. But no, I have not been watching it as of yet. Do you know what I mean? Almost sounds like Ondine. It's a ballet. Oh, never heard of that one. I'm very booking. Belili was first a Sumerian minor goddess called Gesht Inanna, sister of Dumuzi, and wife of Ningishida, the doorkeeper of An. She was later included in the Babylonian pantheon with the name Belili or Belit Ili, also spelt Belit Ili, acquiring sometime much higher status of the wife of Bel. The Canaanites called her Baalat or Baalit, the wife and female counterpart of Baal. Oh, I've been reading into Baal. Because Baal is B-A-A-L, is one of like the major demons that a lot of people refer to. However, Baal was just a god of a neighboring, a god of the Canaanites. So when it was like the Jews versus the Canaanites and stuff like that, Baal was actually a very prosperous and very fertile god. You prayed to Baal and your crop would be good. So that's very, very interesting. As the wife of Bel, she is associated with Ishtar for the Assyrians and the Babylonians, with Astarte for the Semites, and with Asherah for the Philistines. In this sense, Bilili can also be associated with the sacred prostitution and human sacrifice of children by fire. Some authors, however, related her with Lilith, who is commonly associated with the demon Asmodai, and considered a female demon with the function of acting as a succubus. So a lot of these, it's like they have a lot of the examples that they're giving us here is less that these people are succubus and more that they have the ability to be a succubus, which is to say that they can drain the life essence of the people that they sleep with. You know, how's it going, Plur Ninja? How you doing? You know? Lamia, related concept to the succubus. Lamia from the Old English legends. The Lamia was said to appear in graveyards as a beautiful woman who draws young men to their deaths. She would lie in wait for the naive victim, looking as if she needed his assistance in some way. Legend has it that if you see a woman in a graveyard who appears to need help, you're supposed to call out to her. But the Lamia cannot answer back since she has a snake's tongue and can only hiss. The Lamias are dope, which is interesting because actually the modern interpretation of a Lamia is the woman in white ghost, which is the ghost that usually appears at the side of lakes because they've drowned their own children, or at the side of roads, and they are the ghosts of women who have had some horrible thing happen to them, and they flag them down. They flag them down. They're like, hey, I need help. You stop. You give them help. They cause you to have a crash and lure you to your death, which is very, very interesting. To add insult... Oh, other interpretations of Lamia revolve around her being the mother of two of Zeus's children, to which upon Hera finding out cursed the woman into a snake-like being similar to Medusa. To add insult to injury, Hera then killed her two children and cursed the woman to walk the earth searching for her deceased children and or eating the children of others. In other tellings, Zeus hid her within a cave where, again, similarly to Medusa, she was given permission to kill anyone that dared to enter the area. Some interpretations also say that Lamia is not one single entity, but a group of creatures all of their own, known as Lamai, plural of Lamia. Okay. And then finally, in Arabian folklore and Islam, the Qarina, which is Qarinah, is a female demonic spirit and type of succubus that may or may not be similar to a genie or jinn. Interesting. They have very similar I find it very, very interesting because I'm seeing certain parallels in this deep dive in comparison to when we deep dived the vampire myth. The vampire myth. Which is to say that because the vampire, so TLDR on the vampires, and if you would like to check it out, it's on the VODs and Vanity YouTube channel. It was the very first one, the very first deep dive we did. They started off as wraith-like ghosts that would suck the life force out of people within their village. See you later, Sway. You take it easy. They would suck the life force out of the people in their village and or the village that they once resided, and then it was only as it spread across Europe and more specifically into the scientific era of like the 1700s, that they gained physical form, and the church was like, oh, well, blood is, you can't like draw blood or give blood or anything like that because blood is a direct part of the soul. And therefore, they were like, oh, well, obviously, if they're feeding on life force, they're feeding on blood, that all makes sense. And then you get stuff like this, where it's like, oh, the succubus feeds on life force, feeds on blood, feeds on semen, feeds on the souls of these people, you know? And they eventually became sparkling, love-struck teenagers. Oh, fucking hell, tell me about it. Jesus Christ. These once horrific creatures became love-struck glitter bombs. Yeah. Fucking hell. But I'm seeing a lot of parallels in that regard, in the whole dynamic of the way the succubi act is, and do you know what I'm also like saying an association with is the way that we now perceive vampires is the way that people used to perceive succubus and incubi. Or very specifically succubus, but incubi to a certain degree, I'm sure, as well. The whole dynamic of, oh, they are mysterious, they are seductive, they are alluring, they create ways to make you want them. And that's how we see vampires nowadays. Like the whole dynamic of vampires being seductive, being alluring, being mysterious comes a lot from like the succubus myths, you know? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, conclusion, succubus was effectively it seems to have been born from religious fanatics trying to explain their own wet dreams. And in order to justify that, they have gone back through historical texts and dictated that. Let's have a look at the first record of a succubus. Let's to finish this off. What is the oldest known mention of a succubus? English word succubus dates from the late 14th century. While the idea was based on the writing based on writings that date back to Mesopotamia, the mention of a succubus and incubus were not applied to these mythical demons until medieval times. In the 18th and 19th century, its description evolved into a more human-like imagery. So the old succubus were horrible creatures, and then it was only in modern or more modern iterations that they became thingies. So sex demons have existed since our understanding of religion, pretty much, right the way back to like fucking Sumerian times and the Canaanites and what have you. Whereas the actual word succubus only came around in the late 14th century, where they basically were trying to catalog every type of demon to fall in line with what Catholic religious ideology considered it, you know? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I've really thanks very much, by the way, friends, for sticking with me through this wild old ride. It has been genuinely fascinating to deep dive, and I hope you have all enjoyed it. I hope you have all enjoyed it because, yeah, it's been really interesting. It's been really, really interesting. I've always known them as separate. Lamia to me have always been part snake. I mean, there's definitely, like, nowadays, there is views of them as being more snake-like creatures. But the original Lamia of a woman, forlorn woman that would walk through graveyards luring men to their death, but that is separate from the Greek mythology of understanding. Greek mythology is always messed up. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Love Greek mythology and folklore. I kind of got bored of it after a while, but Jinn are awesome, too. If you go back to Old World Jinn, yeah. Yeah, that was what it was insinuating anyway. Back from the Gulag, are you signing off? See how it is? Yeah, Grown Dragon, I can't help it. We've had a really good deep dive of the succubus, though. It's been really, really good. I've been really enjoying it. But yeah. How's it going? Thank you very much, everybody, for the claps and what have yous, and the good stuff. So I do appreciate it. I genuinely do hope that people have enjoyed it. Because I do enjoy going through these. In fact, you know what? I don't care if you've enjoyed it, because I fucking love going through this stuff. Do you know what I mean? How's it going, Luna Wintermoon? How you doing? I've enjoyed this so thoroughly. Managed to lurk the entire time. Minus 20 minutes stream, 29 minutes stream. So much new knowledge. Thank you very much. Well, this is the thing, is I know so much about this stuff because I like, this was my teenage years. Do you know what I mean? I used to love learning about these bits and pieces, but the amount that I actually knew about their origins was fucking non-existent. I just read bits and pieces here and there and let my teenage brain fill in the gothic glory. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the actual origins and deep diving into it is genuinely, I'm getting quite the passion of it. Do you know what I mean? Did you explain how it could do the thing to the bus? Yeah, basically what happens is they got like a medieval giant Hoover, and at one side there was a bus or like a cart bus full of Georgian monks, Gregorian monks, should I say, who were all asleep. And they all had wet dreams at the same time. On the other side, there was a young, innocent woman that they assumed was a succubus. Because naturally, you know. Because naturally. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Friends, we will be doing another Mythical Monday next month. The next one is the March the 18th. So, March the 18th, 7 p.m. GMT. That's 7 p.m. British time. We'll be looking into werewolves. We'll be looking into werewolves and the origins of the werewolf mythology, which is genuinely going to be another one that's quite fascinating, I think, because I know a lot of modern folklore or modern mythology about it, but I don't know, like, I know a little bit about the origins, but the werewolf, the werewolf. How's it going, Aoife? How you doing? Thank you very much. Interesting lesson. Also using gender-neutral language throughout has made my autistic brain go buzz, and I appreciate that a lot. Felix, we have a very gender... We've got a large variety of genders within this community, so I always try and use gender-neutral language as much as I possibly can. Because, yeah, it's as from my point of view, it's just the only respectful way to go about it, you know? And it also highlights how the fact that it just isn't hard. It isn't hard to do. If I can sit here and do a fucking 3.5 hour deep dive into Succubus and use gender neutral languages for whatever I am able to do so, then the rest of society should be able to do so as well. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Werewolves or cute cuddly puppies? Good questions. Leprechauns for St. Patrick's Day. Do you know I haven't got a leprechaun? So the ones that I've got lined up as... Where's my list? Succubus, werewolves. I really want to do the Grim Reaper. I would like to do the Headless Horseman. I'd really love to look into the Bogeyman or the Boogeyman. I'm tempted by ghosts, but I feel like I would probably have to pick a specific type of ghost, like a wraith or the woman in white or something like that. I don't feel like I could just pick ghosts in general because there's just so much of a variety of them. And then I wouldn't mind going into some of the like more specific mythical creatures like goblins and gnomes and some of the fae folk and stuff like that. Those are the ones that I've looked up at the moment, but I know full well that there will be points where I'm really interested in branching out and looking at other, because realistically speaking, the vast majority of stuff that I'm pushing at the moment, we've done vampires, we've done zombies, we've done mummies, Krampus, and witches. Like, it's all very European. Even like the mummies, the curse of the mummy, it wasn't Egyptian mummies in general, it was the curse of the mummy, where that comes from, and that's still very a European thing to look at. I would like to look at some of the origin myths of other cultures' monsters, effectively, the monsters of other cultures. I would be really intrigued to have a look at stuff like that, you know. March 17th is St. Patrick's Day, though. Ooh. What, and you think do the origin of the leprechaun? Do you know what? I'll do a vote. We'll do a vote right now. New poll. Myth time. So, the next myth. Do we do werewolves? Or do we do leprechauns? One minute, go. You people that are here, that have turned up, that have actually paid attention to the wonderful knowledge that we have spread this evening, you get to choose. Do we stick with werewolves? We will be doing werewolves at some stage, so it's not like it needs to definitely be done, but we could always do leprechauns. There's no reason why we couldn't do leprechauns. You know? Hi, Valentine's and wait. That's all right, Eva. That's not a problem at all. That's not a problem at all. I mean, putting a sack by Krampus as a kid, tend not to go outside on December the 5th in the evening, even though I'm a grown-ass adult now. Well, we did, like I said, Eva, we did a big deep dive, and it is available. I've said it a few times today, but YouTube. On my YouTube channels, Twitch, www.youtube.com/@vods and there is our entire series. It's the Mythical Monday series. Vampires, zombies, Curse of the Mummy, and Krampus is one of them. 76% of you said leprechauns. Do leprechauns next time. Okay. Leprechaun. Leprechauns? Yeah. Sure thing. We will definitely be doing werewolves at some stage, so it's not like a massive problem if we don't do werewolves next time. So we'll just, yeah, we can do that instead. We can do that instead. That's not a problem by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, friends, let us go and do a raid thing. Let's go and do a raid thing. Do you know what I mean? I like to call it Irish Heritage / History Day. Yeah, to be fair. To thingies. Can I request one of my faves, the Harpies? I might do a request form at some stage, but I need to... Yeah, I might do a request form at some stage, but at the moment, I'm not going to take suggestions. But thank you very much for asking, B, for sure. Because I know that there's things that I want to get through personally, you know? I'm cool with stuff like...
subscribed.
Growing Dragon!
Kind.
I'm cool with stuff like a contextual one. It's just like, okay, cool, it's St. Paddy's Day on the 17th of March, so doing a deep dive into leprechauns on the 18th kind of makes sense. Like when we did Krampus on the Monday closest to Krampusnacht, it was like, yeah, like that kind of stuff does make sense. I'm all on board that, but I don't want to divert too much when I got shit that I really want to delve into. Thank you very much, Growing Dragon, for giving us 5 gift subs, you cheeky devil. Let me inscribe their names upon the mirror vein. The first one. The second one. The third one. The fourth one. I haven't seen some of these names in a while. Amazing. And the fifth one. By having your names upon the mirror of vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you got...
The human-shaped Pokemon. This Pokemon has some very unusual powers. Its special attack is the lovely Kiss, which puts its opponent into a deep
sleep. And then has coital engagements with them, because Jinx is secretly a succubus. But the most important thing is you gotta roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, I look rough, but god damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, sexy, ooh, yes, meow, you know? Thank you very much, Growing Dragon, for those 5 gift subs, and thank you very much, Nibirin, for the Jinx reference there, you cheeky devil, you cheeky individual, you. Check them out. Probably skip the Krampus one. I'm truly traumatized by that custom. It was, do you know what? It was a very interesting deep dive. But you got to look after yourself. You got to look after yourself. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Austria in the 80s, yeah. Cool nails. Thank you very much. My darling McSteffels painted them. This one is the color of jizz. A very glittery jizz. As opposed to the leprechauns. The leprechauns, not the leprechauns voyage base. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh my god. Anyway, friends, let us... Jesus Christ. Let us go and throw some love at another delightful individual, friends. Let us go and throw some love at another delightful individual. If you could stick around for the raid, I would really appreciate it. We're gonna go raid somebody. We're gonna go throw some love at somebody else, and I'm gonna get on and do some bits and pieces and get this VOD out on the VOD's channel to be released tomorrow. But friends, Before we go anywhere, could you do me a massive favor and throw out some mod loves in the channel? You can use any kind of mod loves from any kind of channel. You can use any kind of mod loves, any kind of love hearts from any kind of channel. Mods, thank you so much for all that you do. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for all you do in and out of stream, both for me in the tech variety, and also what you do for the community as well. I really, really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it, you glorious individuals. Come on, throw some more mod loves out there, you beautiful beings. Throw some more mod loves, you cheeky devils. Yes, all of the mod loves for these wonderful moderators. I realize that a lot of people will just be lurking because they've enjoyed listening in and what have yous. Friends, we're going to go raid somebody. I know who we're going to go raid. I'm going to go raid a good friend of mine. So, friends, if you're a subscriber, please copy and paste the first raid message. If you are not a subscriber, please copy and paste the second raid message. That's the first bot of vein raid message for subscribers. The second bot of vein raid message for non-subscribers. All of that joy. If you can stick around for the raid, even if it's on like 5-10 minutes, I would really, really appreciate it. You beautiful beans. Let's go raid KPP. Let's go raid KPP. KPP is a wonderful, wonderful individual. They're doing some walking at the moment, but they're having a bit of a natter and a chat. And they're always good fun. They also find stuff like this really interesting. They love the deep lore and the mythos and the bits and pieces. So let's go throw some love at KPP. Friends, thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for the raids, the subs, the gift subs, all the cheeky little bees, the unreasonable level of donations. Just unreasonable level of donations. Thanks so much for all of the follows. And most importantly, thanks so much for being here and spending time with us and just hanging out and allowing me to deep dive into these weird and interesting things, all right? Because I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to check out more of that stuff, please go check out the VODs and Vanity channel. Friends, if you have been watching it on the VODs and Vanity channel, please, if you don't already, subscribe to the channel. If you would like to, and if you've enjoyed the deep dive and want to see more of it, then please click that cheeky little thumbs up. I forget to do it every time, so this is me remembering this time, you know? But yeah, friends, thanks so much. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. for the live stream, that is. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. GMT. That's 1 p.m. British time, where we're going to be jumping back into Baldur's Gate 3 for some more indulgent filth wizardry, where all of our actions are dictated by what is the most pleasurable. We're bringing hedonism to Faerun, all right? And as per usual, we'll be back on Wednesday as well with more Dream Daddy, the dating simulator. But until then, friends, don't do anything I wouldn't do, because if I wouldn't do it, it'll fucking kill you. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.